How's it going, hockey fans? Dan K, and soon to join me in a second. I won't introduce him yet because again at the Chris Collinsworth slide into this one. We've got ourselves a big-time battle royale today. A game that I called a mismatch for the top-seeded Miami of Ohio. I think this will be the toughest game left on their road to a title. Ohio State Buckeyes have looked the best they have looked all year in their last two games and just survived a 2-1 victory over the 3-seeded Indiana University Hoosiers. But now we look at a team in Miami of Ohio. This is a test of great goaltending, great systems play, and four lines buzzing at all times. This Xavier University team, the David to Miami of Ohio's Goliath. This will be a battle, this will be a clash, and this will be a game that will be decided early in my mind in terms of momentum. Miami of Ohio, if they can get out early, they tend to stick to it, stick with it, and continue to just pour it on. If Xavier wants a chance to win this thing, they have to stay ahead, and they're going to need Sage Zahner to be insane. He's going to have to be good. He's going to be stellar in net in between the pipes. And with that, I introduce into the booth, into the broadcast, before we announce our Rookies of the Year. We're going to be announcing the Rookie of the Year, and I said an S in it because that might just be a little hint to you folks at home. But before that, I look to my left, I introduce into the booth my left-hand man, my consigliere, mon frere from another man, and a man who is much, much cooler than Chris Collinsworth, and he doesn't wear vests. Come on in, Lucas.
Hey, Dan. I'm getting better at that.
That was good.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I like that. I like the slide. So I'm rocking my Pickle Rick bow tie today, and with that, we go. My phone. This is what happens when you try to keep things on your phone. We go to an awards announcement. So today's game, we're going to be announcing the Rookie of the Year, the Coach of the Year, and the MVP of the TSCHL. I will tell you, as we start with the Rookie of the Year, we start with the co-Rookies of the Year. We'll announce it again during the first period just to make sure those who join us late hear it as well. First off, from Bowling Green, there is a tie. Two Rookies of the Year. Bowling Green's Ryan Hill, who Hill didn't just climb the hill, he climbed the mountain this year for Bowling Green. He was stellar, he was stupendous, and he was such an important player for them.
Yeah, what a job he's done, and it goes to show you that there's skill and speed in this league for sure, Dan, but it goes all the way from the rookies all the way up to the grizzled old veterans of the league as well, and Ryan Hill is a guy who certainly has a great future in the game of hockey.
Joining him, Xavier forward Mitch Morial, who is unreal. Unreal? How do we say that? I don't know, but Mitch Morial, I'll tell you what, it's been Mitchapalooza all year long for those of you old school fans.
Yeah, Mitch has just done a great job as well. It really comes down to, especially I feel like with these Rookie of the Year awards, you can't always do it based on the score sheet, Dan. You have to be able to dive in a little bit, find out about the player, how they play the game of hockey. These are two guys that show up both on and off the score sheet, and I think there's a lot of potential with these two players, Dan, to become leaders in the locker room as well, if they're not already. Because when you get that Rookie of the Year title, it means that you have a future in the game of hockey. It means that you continue to develop yourself and develop the game, and especially develop the program you're a part of.
We will have a good one for you today. Miami of Ohio and Xavier University. I mean, for Miami of Ohio, it's so easy to talk about. What do they have to do? They just have to do what they've done all year long.
Right.
They've had some momentary lapses in the season, though, and they have been gettable. How does Xavier stymie such a strong offensive attack that was just relentless yesterday, putting up 11 goals on Dayton?
Well, I just don't think defense gets you there. I don't think there's any amount of defense that's going to be able to stop Miami of Ohio. I think where this game is going to end up being won by Xavier is if they can out-muscle their offense. Miami of Ohio has size, speed, and skill. It's the triple threat in the game of hockey.
Yeah.
But Xavier, they can do this. They are the team that I think is perfectly equipped to take it to this number one seed. You have to get out, win that first face-off, and never take your foot off the gas. The best defense is good offense, Dan. And if you can keep up high pressure on the part of Xavier, if you can make the puck get down into those dirty areas, win the board battles, you're going to get a couple of goals, you're going to bother. And that's the big thing. You have to bother this team. You have to get them off their routes, off of what they're used to be doing.
You look at this thing, man, this Miami of Ohio team, they almost remind me of the old Soviet Union squad in the red out there, because There was one celebration on 11 goals yesterday. They scored 11 times. They sellied on the first one, and after that, it was business. It was score, turn, back to the bench. This is a Miami of Ohio team that expects to win, they expect to be good, and they expect to play the game the right way. You talked to Coach during an interview, and he told you how important a good player is, not just on the ice, but off the ice as a person.
Right, and we talked about building a program, and that's what these schools are doing. It's not just 1 year's worth of competitiveness. You have to be thinking about 2, 5, 10 years down the line, and that starts with picking good people for your team, good students for your team, people who can help the program build that solid foundation that's based on good grades, good sportsmanship, and so many other intangibles. Miami of Ohio has it right, and I think a lot of teams in the TSCHL have similar mentalities, Dan, all the way up and down. You talk to these squads, they feel like they've either reached where they've wanted to be and they've been building for, or that they're continuing to build and they see the next year or so being in that position.
How about you look at this right here? Noah Klinsky is going to be one of the key guys you need to shut down if you're Xavier. One of the things you have to shut down with him is his ability to win the face-off game. Last game, 17 seconds in, a face-off win at center ice, puck moves forward across the blue line, Klinsky grabs it, takes a shot, rebound try is scored. He is stellar on the face-off. He's so tricky. He's so difficult to deal with. He'll muck it up. He'll win the dirty one. He'll win it clean. He'll win it forward. You never know where he's going with it.
Yeah, and he's such an elusive player. But there's strength in being elusive, Dan. There's an ability here to kind of hide yourself on the ice when you want to be small, to make yourself big on the ice when you want to be big. And he's one of those players that sets the tempo for his team as soon as he hits the ice. If you want to lock down this squad, you're going to have to lock him down first.
That's exactly right. And if you want to lock down Xavier, I mean, you look at Mitch Morial, you look at the work he's done. This is a team that it does work through the net, though. It works through Sage Zahner, and he's just so important to this team.
Yeah, it's difficult to say that the game of hockey, it certainly doesn't boil down to one person. But as things go, they go through Zahner. And the goaltending here has to be good because Miami of Ohio has come into this game with a regular season plus-minus that's been so lopsided in the TSCHL.
Yeah.
And they came out of that first round with the most lopsided plus-minus, putting up double-digit goals in that first game.
I just realized that I've misplaced my line sheet, so I think we should get started with this game. Zamboni's off the ice, players about to take it. Let's flip
go
this
play
camera
some around. I want to do the inverse Collinsworth slide.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey. Miami of Ohio, Xavier University up next. Good evening and welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, the Iceland Sports Complex, the home of the TSCHL Conference Tournament. The Dan K Show, your exclusive broadcasters of it all. This tournament is brought to you free via the Dan K Show, however you'd like to say it, tomato. But what we like to say is hockey here in the T is unrivaled, unmatched, unbelievable. It has been an incredible weekend so far, and as these two teams take the ice, it will only get better from here. Game 1 of semifinal Saturday saw the Ohio State Buckeyes punch their ticket to the tournament final. A big 2-1 victory over the 3-seeded Indiana Hoosiers. This game will decide who moves on to play against those Buckeyes. Miami of Ohio, the defending champions of the TSCHL, an 11-goal output last night. Yesterday afternoon, the Xavier Musketeers played in the 4 o'clock bout, the afternoon, the matinee, against Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats. A tough Ohio team. Lucas and I both said defense will reign supreme. Nope, 8-4 was the score, and the Xavier Musketeers found their offensive push. They found the mechanics they needed, and I will tell you what, they will be looking to do it yet again today. Dylan Russo, Mitch Morial are two of those names to watch out for on this Xavier side. For Miami of Ohio, getting the start in net for the second day in a row, it's Daniel Karasik. For Xavier, it's obviously Sage Zahner. He has been so good with this Xavier program. It is hockey time. Face-off underway. Hockey underway. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Xavier down the ice here, far side. Kick down to the corner boards, trying to flip this one back out. Miami of Ohio on it. Fire it on through, trying to find that centering pass. Won't get it just yet. Down the ice they come. Jam back up through center. Good little board battle in front of the bench right now, holding onto it and leaving back towards his own zone. Xavier in the blue and whites with the very difficult to read for Dan K, silver or gray numbers on the back. Miami of Ohio in the white and reds right there as the Red Hawks push this one down in deep. If you're Xavier, it's all about the start. It's all about getting out of the gates fast here. And getting out of the gates fast doesn't have to mean a goal scored. It means not falling behind right away. Miami of Ohio does such a good job of just taking the fire out of you. Just putting that first score in, and next thing you know, you feel like the buses move past you. This one's stolen away. Carrying it in is Philip Smith. Smith loses hold of this one. Stolen out by Xavier. They'll jam this one ahead. Retreating after it is Joe Gamicchia. Gamicchia hands on. Fire it on ahead there. Good little pass from Madsen on the outlet. Is tapped away. Backhanding this one through, and then Philip Smith will spin it on in. Down for the forecheck. Out of his net to settle it down is Sage Zahner for the Musketeers. Minute and a half into this one. Hard hit there. Jumping into the play to make that one was Daniel McGeever, who was one of the many goal scorers yesterday for Miami of Ohio. Big guy to look out for was our star of the game yesterday, Jacob Schmidt for Miami of Ohio. A 3-goal performance, a hat trick. The owner of the haberdashery, we were calling him yesterday. Back on in, he'll retreat with this one. On that puck is going to be number 12, Ryan Jenkins. Tap back on to Jenkins. He'll throw the brakes on back up here. Good high pressure put on by Andrew Best. Best couldn't get his best there and couldn't steal it away as Miami of Ohio will retreat. Good high pressure here. Look at Xavier right now. Every skater with Miami of Ohio even on the puck in front of that half line, in front of that checkerboard there, trying to make a play, trying to make it tough to get out of the zone, not wanting Miami of Ohio to set up for shots like this as Zahner paddles it away to the corner, his first stop of the day. Pushed around the boards, reeling this one through. Xavier back on the outlet, hands it ahead, caught the back of his skate, having to throw on the brakes is Andrew Best. He'll fire this one off the boards. The 4th-seeded Xavier Musketeers taking on the 1st-seeded defending champion Miami of Ohio Redhawks. Given back across center. Good zone entry timed up. Miami Hiles gets caught on a change. His shot is blocked away. Paddled aside and dives on top of it, making the stop. It just made up a word, and I look to my left and I introduce in the booth Lucas Jones.
Oh, what a good chance chance by Xavier early on in this one, Dan. I mean, so far they've kind of run through the checklist here. They've got the high pressure, check. They've got the good opportunities, check. And they're rolling right now with as many, it feels like they've got 9 guys on the ice on the offensive side.
Good start for Xavier here. That one's kicked away. The shot was taken earlier by Matthew Cruiser, who is the cruise missile, man. This guy is fast. He's shot out of a cannon. He can make things happen. He's a creator with the puck on his stick. If you're Miami of Ohio, you cannot let him get free like he just was. Tipped out ahead, trying to make that play forward. Stolen away by Jacob Schmidt. Schmidt immediately right back after it. A hat trick in game 1, trying to add to it here today. Xavier on it, they'll backhand this one. Plinko it off the board, trying to find a way out towards the blue line. Pitchforked up into the air. Racing down a one-on-one chance. Takes the shot. It's blocked out of the way. Shot was taken there by Dylan Russo. Blocked by the stick of Noah Tilton. Jack Lipovich back in his own zone. He'll pitchfork that one up into the air. Played with a high stick. Hard hit at the whistle. 3.5 minutes into this one, the score 0-0. All knotted up.
Yeah, this has been an interesting game so far, Dan. We're still very, very early in this one, but I think we've seen a good indication on how this game might be going. This is going to be a fast, physical game, potentially a lot of scoring opportunities. But if these goaltenders show up, I could also see this being a 1 or 2-0 game.
Now one's stolen away. Tries to drag it in front. The shot gets deflected up into the netting. And there's that face-off win we've talked about with Miami of Ohio. The push forward, jump into the play. Momentum gets moving, and that puck just keeps getting closer and closer to the net until that open shot opens up.
Yeah, that's all you need. You just need to be tenacious. You need to be good on the puck. And you need to be fast, especially in the semifinals.
Xavier on it now, trying to find a way out. They'll flip it towards center. No nonsense defending there. Spinning back towards his own zone. Nice little handoff pass. Miami of Ohio with this one. It's going to be Brendan Madsen. Madsen giving up. Puck going to be turned over now at center. Flipped right back in by Xavier. They're out on the forecheck. Racing after it is Madsen again. He'll try to win the race to the corner boards. He cannot. It's tipped away from him, but no trouble there, as jumping in for the cleanup duty was Joe Gamicchia. Thrown on net, paddled by Zahner, covered up by the catch and glove. Frying pan on the fire, whistle blows. You're watching along with the Dan K Show. We remind you all weekend long to follow the Dan K Show. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at @the_Dan K Show, the most watched show in junior hockey. This one back. Backhand shot gets blocked on the way through. Plinko on out towards center. When we hit the 10-minute mark, we will re-announce the co-rookies of the year. We announced it in the open of the show. We will re-announce your co-rookies of the year, and some of the Xavier fans in attendance will want to hear that one. Flipped on in, around the boards it goes. Retreating down after, it's going to be Drew Bishop. Bishop's going to say checkmate there, push it right back along the boards. Tries to stymie him with that pass. Stolen away from Quinn Cronin. Cronin couldn't hold on to it. Instead, jumping back in is Jenkins now. He'll shovel this one along. Can't find its way out, hits a body. Down underneath in the corner, that took an odd bounce on the way through and almost tested Karasik there. It's Daniel Karasik who gets the start for Miami of Ohio in net. Delayed call coming. The whistle blows. It's going to go against Xavier here.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to take, especially when you've been rolling as well as Xavier has so far in this game. Penalties in this style of a game, they just kill your momentum, Dan. You know, especially when you're trying to come out here and play this high-pressure, high-octane offense.
2 minutes on the clock. Penalty taken by Xavier for the first time today. Miami of Ohio is on the power play. Power play here from Miami of Ohio. Kicked back through by Lipovich. Trying to find his way to it. This one will trickle free. Diving play by Lipovich to keep it alive. Takes his own man down. They're both back up to their feet. Trying to pinch the boards. A little bit of a miscommunication there as it trickles out the center. Lipovich tries to hand that off. He goes flying down again. He's been on the ice 3 times already on this shift. He's all over the place trying to make plays. Back out they come with it. Skating out fast is Madsen. Madsen goes wide side. Has a man at support. He'll throw the brakes on. Look back towards him. Hands off with a shot. It's Klinsky. No. Rebound tried by Lipovich. Score! Bartender. Jack Lipovich. It's a power play goal. and Red Hawks lead first.
And this is exactly what we saw in that quarterfinal game, Dan. The Red Hawks coming out strong, coming out swinging. This is an offensive juggernaut that can attack you and hurt you in so many different ways. Xavier down by 1 goal is going to make it tough in this first period of play because now you're really going to have to start. And it sounds insane to have to say, well, 1 goal down, now the game changes. But this Red Hawks team is so deadly and they can score so fast.
Why you got to stay out of the box. This Red Hawks team is relentless. They are nonstop. Once they get a lead, they can smell blood in the water. They continue to attack. And if you're Xavier now, you got to settle in. You're going to lean heavily the rest of the way on Sage Zahner. Lipovich here. He'll backhand this one around. Trying to find their way out. Bounces through the legs back at the center. They'll be jammed right back in front of the bench of the Musketeers. Couldn't reel it in, couldn't keep it. Cross-ice pass, D-man to D-man there. That one catches a skate, flips right back into the Musketeer end. This is what you were starting to see from Miami, Ohio yesterday. There was just no way out of the zone. They just start to bring those bodies in. They close up the passing lanes. They move so well without the puck. It's a well-oiled machine right now in Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, and I think they're kind of executing the game the way they want to be right now. And you kind of said it well, Dan. It's get the puck in the zone, and if you can't get the shot, make sure your defensemen get back. That's their biggest strength, is their defensemen's ability to make sure that they can hatch back in time.
Which Miami was Will Smith singing of?
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you.
Was it this Miami?
It might have been.
Or was that Getting Jiggy With It was about Miami of Ohio?
Again, I do not know. You have to call up Will and ask him because I am not the...
Well, Will told me to lose his number. We got into a bit of an argument. This one jammed back up. I said, I don't think you need another Bad Boys movie. He said, I do. Got to pay them bills. This one's jammed back through. Handed back into their own zone. Xavier will retreat and restart. They'll settle in, and you got to be careful on these outlet passes. You'll see Miami. They'll flash the one body towards you. They'll leave the other two back at the blue line. It really makes it hard to find a way out through the center of the ice. Klinsky racing to him, trying to get the body to him. A big hit from Noah Klinsky. Spun back in. Xavier trying to dump that one in deep. They couldn't find a way to. Stolen away now. Onto it is Drew Bishop. Bishop hands ahead. Out is Jacob Schmidt. Schmidt tries to get across the blue line. He's taken down to the ice and hit hard. Klinsky still out there for Miami of Ohio, trying to get the pressure on. All the way through everybody, holding, dragging, tried to get a shot off, lost control. Hands off to Matthew Cruiser, who spins it between his legs to keep it alive. That's Klinkoed up off the boards, trying to find a way out by Klinsky. It'll head down to the corner and be spun through out towards the blue. Down to the ice, hard hit there, getting the worst of it, Miami, as this one's coming for a shot. No deflection try, caught up against the netting. A hard swing there is not going to make any friends. That was Dylan Russo who jumped in late for Xavier to try to swing that one loose.
And that's a great job by the goaltender there, Dan, recognizing that the puck was in a dangerous place, trapped up on the netting, just behind the post and just above that bottom bar. He threw the blocker over to try to knock that one down. That's a really good heads-up play.
Back up top, holding and waiting, flips it down to the corner. Finding it there off the stanchion, catches its way down, and out they come. That's Philip Smith on this one from Miami of Ohio. Have to tag up, have to stay on side as this one's flipped right back in by the Musketeers. This will be a huge upset for Xavier, I'll tell you that much. It is a large mountain to climb. This is a big-time victory to try and go get, but they have everything there to try to do it. As there's a shot kick save and a beauty by Karasik. Got the pad to it, the skate steered it aside. Huge stop by Daniel Karasik. Oh, Danny boy, the goal pipes were almost calling there as he made that stop. Stolen back to the corner. Xavier just going to keep the pressure on. Jumping over the boards for a change here is Cartaliccio. Hard hit there, jumping in one more time, trying to play that one deep. Pushes this one up high. Spinning shot, had the opening. Couldn't put it on net. That was Andrew Best with the look there. Swing and a miss on that one. Cole Drake tried to get involved. Cole Drake used to call me on my cell phone. Does not anymore. Now just plays hockey really well, Cole Drake. This one put wide, hits the side of the netting there, then catches the post and doesn't go. Flipped on off the boards, trying to work that one out. Taken down to the ice by Lipovich, still tangled up. Xavier's bench looking for a whistle, won't get it. Still tangled up at center ice. They're just going to let these boys play there. That was both guys right there, just tangled up with one another. Neither wanted to let go. I'll never let go always reminds me of Rose from the Titanic. She did.
She did. That's true.
She totally did.
She was the first one to let go.
This one's back up top to center. 10 minutes to go in the first period of play. Holding at the blue line, nifty little move in. Goes through the legs there. Reminder, next whistle will re-announce your co-rookies of the year in the TSCHL. 2 different recipients of co-rookie of the year in the TSCHL. There's your whistle. There's your icing. Co-rookies of the year from Bowling Green, Ryan Hill. Ryan Hill has been mountain big for his Bowling Green side. He wins co-rookie of the year. Alongside him from Xavier University, it's Mitch Morial. Mitch with the big time. I tell you what, Mitchapalooza all year long for Mitch, and he has been so good for this team, and you'll see him out there today all game long for the Xavier University Musketeers. Congratulations to Mitch and Ryan Hill on the great accomplishment. A lot of career left for those 2 young gentlemen. They are going to have a lot more to say in the TSCHL years to come. Xavier with it back at center, pushing it back towards their own zone. Reeling this one around, trying to jump down into the play. Good play to kick it down to the corner. Russo trying to reel it in. He could not. It's flipped back around and off the stanchion. Hits a body there. That's Cove Herdick on that one. Herdick will try to pressure down at the blue line. Couldn't reach out and grab that one. Bouncing puck finds its way to center. Xavier back in the zone entry, trying to push this one in deep. Spinning look in front. The swing and a miss there. Couldn't put it on. Another odd angle try. Actually caught the paddle of Karasik and was settled down confidently by Drew Bishop. Drew Bishop almost finds his man out there. That was Herdick who broke away. A shot there from the blue line. Save made. Fire wagon hockey here in Louisville. Oh, the land of fast horses has now got some fast hockey going on here. Behind the net goes Xavier. They'll throw the brakes on. Trying to reset this one, trying to find their way out. Dan K just out here misplacing his line charts all day long with this. As there's a shot off the glove there of Zahner, ringing the glass, keeps spinning wide. Hard play there on behind, tried to jam it on in front, couldn't get there. Sage Zahner will, and that'll get the whistle. That'll get the stoppage there, and with that, we remind you that the TSCHL has partnered with the National Suicide Prevention Hotline to raise awareness and help those in crisis. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out and speak up. Text HOME, that's HOME, to 741-741, or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Such a great cause they work with here throughout this tournament, and you can see they have the National Awareness Foundation's ribbon on the back of the puck for every game puck here this weekend, and it's really it's near and dear to all our hearts because the people we love, right, Lucas, who deal with it.
Exactly, and it's so great to see the TSCHL partner with such an amazing campaign. They were here to help drop a ceremonial puck last night, and this partnership, and it really just brings visibility to a great cause, Dan.
Save made by Zahner there. He'll cover up. Little under 8 to go here in the first period of play. 1-0 the score. Miami of Ohio in the lead on the back of a goal from Jack Lipovich. A big scramble goal that found its way out to him, and he just buried it in the back of the net.
Yeah, if you give him openings, he'll find them. And then the problem with playing Miami of Ohio, Dan, is that if you don't give them openings, they'll create them. So it's really a no-win situation. And that's why we talked about the importance of the best defense is a good offense against this team, because you have to just keep pushing the puck out of your own end.
Want to know more about the TSCHL? Easy. Head to TSCHockeyLeague.com. That's TSCHockeyLeague.com. Find out more about teams, players, stats, registration ability, and how to make your way to the best league in the USA. That was pretty cool. I made that up on the top of my head. Welcome, TSCHL.
We try our best.
This one tipped around by Klinsky. Tries to get to it. A hard, high hit from Noah right there. No call coming. looking back to it. Lipovich now with the hard hit. Klinsky pushes that one through. What a beautiful play by Noah Klinsky there. He snuck that one through zero gravity to get it out of the zone. It's stolen away. Xavier trying to get back on the break. Can't get back to their feet. Whistle blows. Stoppage here. A little over 6 to go and some frustration from the bench.
Yeah, I think not particularly happy with that last series there, Dan. And, with good reason. A couple of botched offensive attempts and some struggles on the defensive end as well. This is unusual struggles, I think, for this Miami of Ohio team. And, if you're Xavier, you're looking at this last couple of minutes here and you're saying to yourself, we have to get a goal here soon. Because we always, it's sort of cliche at this point where we say the first goal is the toughest one to get. But really, it's not so much of a physical issue as it is a mental issue. That first goal is like climbing a mountain.
Make sure to stick around at the end of the first period. We'll be announcing the Coach of the Year in the TSCHL. The Coach of the Year. The hand goes up, the whistle blows. Icing the whistle, icing the call. Co-Rookies of the Year, Ryan Hill, Mitch Morial. Ryan Hill of Bowling Green, Mitch Morial of Xavier University. We'll continue with our Coach of the Year at the first intermission. Tomorrow, we're going to have all honorable mention on our pregame show for those in the title game. We'll also have our second team and first team TSCHL rosters to announce. Award season, baby.
That's what it is. That's one of the beautiful things about the end of the year. You get great playoff matchups like this one, and you can start giving out awards to those who deserve it.
That's why I'm wearing my leopard suit. This is what I wear to my galas. Or galas. Or galas? Which way? How do you say it?
Galas.
Galas?
Galas.
I don't know. I'm from Jersey. I say everything wrong. Wrong. I just kind of went to that, too. This one back up top. Miami of Ohio back towards their own zone. Little over 6 to go now. Flipped up, out of play. Whistle blows. Xavier's doing a good job of kind of keeping this game from being an open race right now, correct? It's a 1-0 game, but still you'd like to see a little more zone presence out of them, but easy to say against the squad. Miami of Ohio just doesn't make mistakes.
Right, and I think right now, if you're Xavier, you have to be happy with the way this game has gone so far, Dan, because you've been able to execute, you've been able to make it hurt, you've gotten yourself into the areas of the ice that are vulnerable against this Miami of Ohio team.
Back up top, stolen away, tries to go through all the bodies, had it sticked away back into the zone. Retreating with it, D-man to D-man look, out they come. That's going to be Brendan Matson on that one. Matson hands back off, couldn't reel it in. It's going to be Joe Gamicchia. Gamicchia hands off to Philip Smith. Smith can't keep it with a skate, hard hit there. Hunter Wallace will race after it with the shot high into the glove of Zahner. He takes no chances of putting that back in play. His bodies were bearing down on him in front of the net.
Yeah, I certainly don't blame him either, Dan, because that's a shot that you might not even be expecting to have to save. I mean, that zone entry, you had board battles working their way all the way up the far side of the boards, and then you finally get into the Xavier defensive zone, and you fire that puck in on net, which is a little bit unusual for this Miami of Ohio team.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, if you need some hydration, I got you.
Hydration emergency, folks.
That's why I got the squirt bottle. Shot there, save made. Whistle blows. Lucas hydrates. That's play-by-play. When you can do play-by-play on all things going on.
even your color commentator.
That's it. Flip back up to the blue line. Takes the wrister through. Body stoned by Zahner.
Little bit of stop.
Little go.
A little bit more stop.
Stop. Go. Stop.
Go again.
Go.
Right now, both teams engaged in a little stop-and-go traffic. And
oh, those little guys with the bouncy ball by our speakers there better be careful. Oh, they hurt us. See, that's play-by-play right there.
That's it. That's all it takes. It's it's great to see that these teams travel well. That these teams are bringing in fans. They're coming down to Louisville for the weekend tournament. Parents get to see some of their children playing hockey. It's really a great vibe down here in Louisville, Dan.
Settling that one down is Karasik. Hard hit in front of his own net. Matthew Cruiser wore the worst of it. Bouncing puck is settled down. He'll back in this one along to Jack Dallas, one of the best names in the world. Jack Dallas. Coming to ABC Monday nights at 8 o'clock. Jack Dallas. On behind. With this one is Drew Bishop. Bishop tries to horse his way out of the zone. He'll find it. He'll gallop this one on. Flipped off the glass there. Down it comes. Spinning through, not trying to play the pawn in this one. It's going to be Noah Klinsky. Couldn't reach it. He'll be kinged there. It's going to be flipped back out. Close to the Queen City of Cincinnati. Lucas. Are there any other chess pieces I didn't name?
You missed one.
What was it? The rook.
There it is.
We just named the rook of the year, though, and I set you up for that one. Ryan Hill, Mitch Morial, your rooks of the year. I did it all. Back through everybody, trying to whisk it through. Too many bodies in front. Lipovich, the man, to steal it away with a poke check. So he fired right back through. Zahner going to settle it down behind his net with a paddle. Under 4 to go now in the first period. Cruiser in the corner. Flips it off the boards, but catches a man with it. It's going to be skated on with the backhand side. Thought about jamming it on in front, cannot. Loose puck gets centered out. On past that Cardinals logo at center. One-on-one chance here. Tried to just fire it on net. Gets blocked again by Noah Tilton. And Tilton shook his head no. Almost a little Dikembe Mutombo out of Tilton right there. There's a shot. It stopped. It trickles onto the goal line. And Karasik dives on top of it with a glove. A humongous save there.
Oh, that's a big-time turnaround by Karasik. That's one of those plays that if you're not quick enough, if you're not fast enough, that puck, it just seems like time slows to a trickle, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Oh, Karasik had to stop. It snuck through the chicken wing and rolled itself right to the goal line as he dove on top of it. A humongous save. Around the boards it goes, trying to hold this one through. It'll be flipped up by Herdick. He'll find his man in Quinn Cronin flashing through. Cronin taps that one in deep off Nick Corrali. Joey Jenkins now involved. He'll flip it on. Thought about jamming it on in front, cannot, so he'll use the boards. Gets it back through, tried to spin it into the corner. Poked away, right back on. Standing wide side is Herdick. Thought about the shot, won't take it just yet. Now does, it's blockered into the corner. Another big stop by Zahner. Flipped up top for a wrister high, trying to jump in the air and get it with a glove, could not. It was Gamicki on that one. Flip back up into the corner. Bouncing puck settled down. Here comes that normal Miami of Ohio attack, Lucas. They just wear you down.
Yeah, this
chopping wood.
No, absolutely, and this is what their MO is. This is what they try to do game in and game out. They try to play a certain kind of style in the first period of play. It makes you do one of two things. It either makes you take a couple of penalties and give you some chances, or if you play the game really clean, it wears you down, it wears you out. And those penalties, instead of getting called in the first period of play, now move to the third period.
2:29 to go here in the first period of play. Face off one over to the corner, taken by the Redhawks. They'll flip it off the glass and out. Down with this one goes Hunter Wallace, hunting for the back of the net. Instead, he'll fire it behind the net. Reeled back up top. The Plinko pass can't be reeled in. Held onto by Drew Bishop. Bishop has it poked away from him. Settled down here now. Back skating with this one is Ryan Jenkins. Jenkins turns it over, though, in a dangerous spot. Trying to find the shot. He does off the mask there of Karasik, and that's how you use your head.
That's one way to do it. And, these goaltenders, their mantra is anyway, anyhow. They'll use the mask, they'll use the blocker, they'll dive on top of it. And, some of these goaltenders, especially in these late period situations, you'll see some creative saves. And
I'll tell you what, an interesting story about using your head. How about Sage Zahner, netminder for Xavier University? We got a little inside scoop that this is a young man getting his grad degree right now who is working on a study to give better head injury information and protection to athletes in club sports, the same as they have in D1 hockey and D1 sports. What a great job by Sage Zahner, and automatically I know he's much, much smarter than I am.
Yeah, me as well, Dan, and that's such a great cause to be able to elevate this level of hockey, to make sure that all of these people are protected, because we always like to say that, at the NCAA level, it's a student athlete. It's two heads of the same coin, and when these players are done here and they go out into the world, you want to make sure that they're as healthy as they can be and had as good and fun of an experience as possible.
I got my grad degree, and all I remember is that I drank way too much coffee. Just pots of it to stay awake. I was doing 4 classes at a time. It's a grind. If you're going to go for it, you better be ready for it, and you better bring your A game, as this one's fired up and out of play. Whistle blows. 1:55 on the clock for a Xavier power play here. Miami of Ohio took a penalty during that break, and with that, for the first time today, the Musketeers are on the power play. Power play here for the Musketeers. One back up top. Holding with that, he'll spin and turn it. Looking for assistance behind in the corner. Can't get there just yet. Another hard hit. Stolen by Lipovich. Lipovich tries to keep this one along the boards. Has it whisked away from him, but not for long. Right back onto his stick. Now getting involved one more time is going to be Cartaliccio. Cartaliccio hands off for Russo. Russo puts that one through the legs, right back onto his stick. A nifty little move there. He'll hold that one alive. Russo back on it. Almost fans on the pass and turns it over. Now loses it along the boards. Gets it back again. The deflection try is stoned. Putting that one on net was Cartaliccio, who deflected it on net. Karasik stoned him. All the way through bodies, trying to find his man wide side. He will. Has to turn this one in quickly. Handed back up top. Has room for the shot. It hit a skate on the way through and steered wide. Back up from Dallas. Dallas tried to get enough on it. Couldn't. Turns that one over at the blue line, and out of the zone it goes. A long shift from Miami of Ohio. They're trying to catch him offside with 20 seconds to go. They won't. Spun back out. Looking for it, won't get it. Holding and waiting. Russo shot it for his man. Deflects up, hits the body of Karasik, and it goes back out. Final 15 now to go. Hands wide side for Dallas with the shot. It's blocked. Xavier looking really good with the extra man.
Oh, they look great, Dan, but they just have not been able to crack this Red Hawks code right now. But they're getting themselves set up at will inside the offensive zone. This really bodes well for this squad coming out in the second period of play.
Good play by Lipovich to close it out. 20 minutes in the books. One goal on the board. And that goal for Miami of Ohio scored by none other than Jack Lipovich, the defenseman. This Miami of Ohio team, I'll tell you what, after 11 goals yesterday, a much different style they've had to play in this game. A little more defensive, a little more physical, and they haven't just jumped right out to a big lead, and you're seeing them still deal with it well. This team deals with adversity. They can play any style.
Yeah, they really do, and it's their versatility that's really helping them here and keeping them alive. But you got to give it up to this Xavier squad. They are doing a phenomenal job in all aspects of the game. Offensively, they are playing tough. Defensively, they are meeting the Red Hawks in all the areas they need to be, and they're playing great in transition as well. The defense and the offensive lines are working seamlessly together. They're really strong in the neutral zone. Can't say enough about the Xavier squad.
And if you are Xavier right now, you got to feel good. I mean, it's a 1-0 game, but you've kept yourself in it, and this becomes a situation now where one bounce, one shot, one good pass, and things are tied up. So you're in this game. You've got a netminder who can keep you alive at all times, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take great net minding and great play. You're going to have to play your best 40 minutes of hockey you've ever played in your life if you want to upset this Miami of Ohio team.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, and it's going to take a concerted effort from all parties involved to really get this thing moving. I'm extremely excited about the second period of play as well, Dan. And you know, I think thank you for joining us at home. And I mean, if you're not enjoying this game, I don't know. There must be something else going on, because this is probably one of the best games that we've seen all year, and certainly one of the best periods of play we've seen in the tournament.
And with that, we announce the Coach of the Year in the TSCHL. We'll also announce it again at the 10-minute mark of the second period of play. Coach of the Year in the TSCHL goes to none other than Bowling Green's Jake Rochelle. It's award season at Bowling Green right now, Lucas.
Yeah, that program has really, really improved itself year over year. I mean, they have really stepped it up a notch. They did a great job this season as well. I mean, things are looking up in Bowling Green.
It really looks good right now for them. I mean, a 6th seed this year, played Indiana tough early in that one. Indiana started to pull away late, but this is a Bowling Green team that just gets it right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're already looking forward to what they'll bring to the table next season.
We're looking forward for what these hockey players will bring to the table the rest of the way, and oh boy, are we going to have a feast of hockey fun for you the rest of the way. 40 minutes away from deciding who will join the Ohio State Buckeyes in the championship game. We will see. Dan Kay, Lucas Jones. We'll be back with more after this. 20 minutes of hockey in the books. Miami of Ohio with the 1-0 lead over Xavier after one. Jumping back into this one, you look at this Red Hawks team, and what makes them so difficult is you don't know where it's going to come from. But one place I can guarantee you after watching that first period of play that you have to keep an eye out for is going to be Herdick. Herdick trying to break out of the zone, get that puck on the way out. You can hear the boys down there also saying they heard his name. You got to watch out for the leak out. There was a couple times where he almost got that little cherry pick pass there. Hang back by the blue line. Watch out for the outlet. That's a big time breakaway. Miami of Ohio, they just score in bunches when they get the break going.
Well, one of the things they're able to do so well is they play in transition, and they don't need a lot of team support. It's a team full of guys that can score by themselves. They can score as a bunch. They can set things up. They love to get mismatches. But I think what's going to come out here in the second period, Dan, is they saw that Xavier was able to get some good pressure by establishing that high defensive pressure, by staying to the boards. Look for Miami of Ohio to maybe leak a couple of guys out early, really punish Xavier for trying to bring their defensemen into the offensive zone.
And how about that first period from Drew Bishop on the Miami of Ohio side? I mean, Drew Bishop, this is a steadying force. This is a guy that's made the big plays, and he's going to try to help them gallop to a title.
Yeah, I mean, this is a player that's just complete, from day one, from shift one, all the way up until today. He's just been a great addition to this team.
You look on the other side of things, and you see Xavier coming out behind this Miami of Ohio side. And the first period that you got to be happy with, you're only down by one. It takes one bounce, one play, and this Xavier team's going to have to come out physical here because it's a big Miami of Ohio side. You can't let them wear you down.
Well, this is a very, very skilled Xavier team, and they proved that in the first period of play. They brought their A game to this one, Dan. They're all students of the game, to be sure, and they knew exactly how to bring it to this Miami of Ohio side. I mean, one goal I don't think is going to decide this one. There's going to be more goals in this game. So I think if you're Xavier right now, you treat this as a tie game. You treat this as we still have to go out and execute our game plan to the best of our ability.
20 minutes will go back up on the clock. The winning team from the earlier semifinal game, Ohio State, the Buckeyes, punched their ticket to the TSCHL tournament final. What a big day for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, that's a huge moment for them. And as we say, the Buckeyes are buzzing down there.
No, the hashtag Bucks are buzzing.
Bucks
hashtag
are buzzing.
Bucks are buzzing.
I should leave the hashtags to the expert and stay on the camera up here.
OHIO, no. Lucas is trying to steal my phrases. You can't do it. You can't mess it up.
No, can't do it.
Can't do it. No drinks. No drinks. Can't do it. 20 minutes on the clock. Miami of Ohio in the white and red. They'll trade places here. Zahner gets ready between his pipes underneath us here in the booth. Pizza Rat coming into the booth right now. As Lucas heads down to ice level. Lucas mansplaining how to use a camera, Lucas. All right, have fun down at ice level, Lucas. I think everyone can figure it out up here as this face-off's won by Xavier. It is hockey time yet again. Hockey time for Xavier. Xavier versus Miami of Ohio. Hand it off here to Cruiser. Cruiser going to cruise this one down in wide side. Throws the brakes on. Try to spin it back to the blue line. A bad turnover here. It's going to be a breakaway now for Miami of Ohio. They're going to take this one through that. Schmidt with a shot. Took a deflection over the catching glove of Zahner and didn't go. Holding with this, Cruiser dumps it right back out. He's going to find his man Dylan Russo on the way out. 5 best forwards in the world, Dylan, and Dylan spits hot fire for Xavier. Cruiser with that shot. Dave Chappelle's show, the Chappelle Show might be old enough now where that reference does not hit anymore. That may no longer be funny. Zahner back between the pipes now. Little under 20 to go here. Just got this period underway. 1-0 Miami of Ohio leads. Your lone goal scorer, Jack Lipovich, for the Red Hawks. It's a power play goal off a big-time chance. This one's taken down to the corner and fought for there. Trying to kick it loose. Still can't find it. Trickling its way to the blue line for a one-timer shot. Takes a deflection and goes wide. Held there, spinning pass around the boards. With that one was Drew Bishop. Bishop couldn't get it out, though. It only made its way as far as the blue line. Still battling along. Xavier here doing exactly what I talked about. It's almost like they heard me while they were taking the ice. Get a little more physical. Don't let Miami of Ohio wear you down. Wear them down along those boards. Try to get the puck tied up. Try to make things happen. This is a big Miami of Ohio team, and they do such a good job of just wearing down opponents. You got to take that right back at them if you can. taken through here. Nifty little move through. Body shot low, paddled aside. Rebound try on net, covered up by Karasik. Whistle blows. Stoppage here. Luke is going to head down a ice level, and you can see James Lambert talking about the tough to see the numbers on the jerseys. That is correct, James. Here we are. But it's a beautiful look there, the blue. As this one's kicked back up top to the point, takes the wrister, it's blocked up off the glass and back into the corner. We thank you all for watching at home on the Dan K Show's official YouTube page. The Dan K Show, the most watched show in junior and college hockey. We're basically the spittin' chicklets of the non-professional world, as this one shot through and blocked away by Zahner. Backhanded in front, couldn't find his man. Ben Bridges is going to burn this one ahead. Trying to get through troubled waters with that pass. Bridges couldn't find him as it's flipped back in. Back skating through. Good little tap ahead. On across the blue line. Jammed in front. Goes backhand. Forehand shot. Stoned by Zahner. What a stop. Kicked aside into the corner. Unrealistic save from Sage Zahner. He's not just a seasoning. He's a netminder. Tapped in front, thought about jumping on top of it, body splashing everywhere, physicality reigning supreme for Miami of Ohio now, trying to dish it right back out to Xavier. They could see that ramp up in physicality at the start of the period. Ben Bridges tries to throw it to himself and break loose with it, couldn't reel it in. Jammed up ahead, out across center they go, trying to back up into him, couldn't find him, takes an odd bounce there, trickles off the back of the netting, spinning back loose, nifty little move to shake it free. Handed on ahead by Russo. Russo gonna find the Rookie of the Year there. Kick wide side, has the opening for the shot. Cruiser rang the side of the net there, couldn't jam it home. Oh, a great breakaway look there. Cruiser, Morial, Russo combining on that one. Flipped back in again. Trying to find their way down to the corner. Lucas Jones down on the bench there with Xavier. Far side of the screen. We'll have an interview with him and the Xavier bench soon. As this one shot into the catching glove. Save is made, and Lucas take it away.
A hard-fought battle between these two teams right now. What do you think? What have you been seeing in the first period of play?
Yeah, the first period, the first 12 minutes, a little tough for us, but the last 9 or so, I think we played pretty well. A lot of chances. We're not giving up much in the D zone if we can just remain structured, getting running around a little bit, and we'll try to tighten it up there when they get possession. So.
Now, this has been a fun game to watch, and your team has had their fair share of good looks, including that one just a minute ago. Talk about your success this season. Where does it come from?
Yeah, I think we just have a lot of, we picked up a few very good freshmen, and really just kind of centered around the defensive zone. If you look at our games, we don't give up a lot of goals, along with Sage, obviously being a big part of that. So just really bearing down in the D zone and then transitioning as a 5-man unit has really helped us out this season.
Now, talk about the program a little bit. Why should a prospective player choose Xavier, and overall, why would you want to play in the TSCHL?
Well, I tell you, I graduated from Xavier in 15, and it was an amazing experience. It really prepared me for the real world. It continues, just the brotherhood of hockey and that it brings. So we have something really special brewing here at Xavier with a lot of young guys, that just are really passionate about the game. So it's just really exciting to be a part of Muskies hockey right now.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back up to you, Dan.
Muskies hockey right now is buzzing. Not a big deal, as they are only down 1 to the top team potentially in the country right now, the way Miami of Ohio plays. This team is going to be a difficult out for any team they face come tourney time, national tourney time that is, because it's tourney time right now. It's the T-tourney as that one rings the light stanchion up top. And while Lucas isn't up in the booth, I have the ability to do a Dick Vitale impression, but I wouldn't do it without him here because he suffers with it. So I'll wait for him to get back, and then we'll do that for all you folks at home. We're in ACC country. You might as well break it out now and then. Face off here at center. One back by the Musketeers. They'll hold on to it there. Flipped on off the boards, trying to get this one on by, could not. Reaching out for it is Cole Shelgren. Tipped away from Russo. Shelgren will retreat back after it. He's pressured high there by McGeever. McGeever couldn't reel it in. Flip back on the Cruiser. Cruiser goes through the legs. He's going to open this one up for himself. Try to go through everybody now. Backhand side, forehand shot, couldn't put it through. Oh, deked out everybody. Took that puck for a walk, and Matthew Cruiser does not need space, does does not need time. He'll make something happen if he wants. As this one's jammed in front from point-blank range, he misses glove side. Oh, what a good look there for Xavier. Another shot, kick, save, and a beauty by Karasik. Oh, big breakaway here. 2-on-1 chance now. Miami of Ohio on it. Times up the zone. Entry. The shot is shrugged aside. Fire wagon hockey. Two netminders standing atop their heads. Nifty little move now. Musketeers looking to break back out. Firing this one through on to Jack Dallas. Dallas going to push this one through, and Walker, Texas Ranger, this one up towards the other zone. It'll be jammed back in, icing the whistle, icing the call. Little over 14 to go here in the second period. Still a 1-0 score. You're watching along with the Dan K Show. The Dan K Show is the most watched show in junior and college hockey. Follow the Dan K Show at @the_Dan K Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pictures from today's matchup will be posted to the Dan K Show Instagram following today's game. Reeled around. So many of these pictures end up on the gram. I'll tell you that much. Do it for the gram sometimes, as this one's kicked on in behind. Trying to hold it along the boards. Miami of Ohio trying to whisk this one out. Out on the break now through center. That one catches up on Jack Dallas. It's stolen away and pushed back ahead by Tom Colucci. Colucci couldn't keep it for long, though. Miami of Ohio right back at it with the shot. It's blocked. Rebound try with one hand. He almost put it home. Jack Dallas then gets speared there behind the play. Pulls the stick away from Cove Herdick. Herdick was not happy because Dallas got to that near post and just that far post and just kind of ran into it. Knocked that thing off to get the whistle. Herdick retaliated by saying, "I don't like that very much." And then in response to that, the stick was taken from him by Jack Dallas and fired onto the ground. No harm, no foul. It's the game of hockey. It tends to be a sport of physicality. That's turned over, though. Troublesome here. There's a shot through. Bodies deflected just wide. Thrown back in front. Doesn't go. Zahner knocks the net off its moorings again, and the whistle blows. What a good look there. Somehow the deflection doesn't go. Oh, down he goes, and that one hurt. If anybody sees, there is an ice monster somewhere under the rink. If anybody sees it, please report it to the rink manager, who is very, very worried about the fire marshal. Kicked back into the corner. Trying to find its way through. Lipovich jams this one along. That's taken by Schmidt. Schmidt with the shot. Thought he had the man on the deflection. That was Torsten Lee. Couldn't get it to go. It'll be fired all the way back down, and Lipovich will win the race for the icing. A great hustle play there by Jack Lipovich.
And down here on the bench of Miami of Ohio. Now, Coach, I got two quick ones for you here. This Xavier team is proving to be very tough throughout this tournament. What have you seen them thrown your way?
They're desperate right now, okay? If we win, they're probably done. They're last seed for regional, so they're playing desperate hockey right now. We just got to match their intensity. Lots, especially that first period, we weren't nearly aggressive enough.
Now you've had some good chances here in the second. How do you convert those chances into goals?
We're gripping the stick a little tight. Okay, just got to play loose hockey, loose, simple hockey. We didn't do that in the first period. And honestly, we were lucky to get out of there with the lead.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back up to you, Dan.
Lucas always getting the good answers down there on the bench. You love to hear it. It's such a great insight into the game to kind of hear the coach talking through it on the bench mid-action, play going around him. And sometimes we'll have Coach, we had Hunter Bishop from the Charleston Colonials. He was making line changes with Lucas out there interviewing him. So one reeled through. Holding it there, spun back off the board, trying to find their way out. You heard Coach say it, Xavier playing desperate hockey right now. It's a team that's in need of a win, need to go deep in this tournament. Tourney time is what it's all about. This is when you can make hay, you can make changes, you can push yourself deeper and further and closer to nationals. All the way down it goes behind. Playing that one. Lucas comes gallantly, striding, lumbering back on into the booth. Backhand pass, tried to go through the legs. Couldn't get it through to him. Drew Bishop going to jump down, try to pinch that one in, keep it alive. Xavier gets to it in the corner. Couldn't find it out. It's going to eventually trickle its way onto the stick of Cruiser. Cruiser's going to cruise this one up off the glass, but only as far as center. Faking the dump-in pass is Bishop. He'll now carry this one in, try to drag it along. Down to the ice he goes, looking for the call. They'll get it. Bishop's going to head to the box now, and Xavier's going to head to the power play. This is Xavier power play. That last go-around looked very, very strong, and now they're going to get a chance with the extra man yet again to try to make a statement, try to make something happen.
Yeah, Dan, getting the vibe from down on the bench there, this Xavier team is all business right now. Coaches kind of saying to their guys, we know what we have to do. We know what's on the line right now. Organized line changes are the name of the game. And Dan, while I was down there, Xavier had two of the best chances I've seen in this entire tournament. That second shot was wide by about 2 inches, beat the goaltender on the glove side, was right there. And then as soon as I moved over to the Miami of Ohio bench, you turn around and you had one of the most open tap-in goals from the zero angle in front of the net that just went wide. So some strange energy right now in front of those nets, Dan. Those pucks not really going where you think they would.
1:39 remains on the power play for Xavier. It's a Xavier Musketeer power play. Little over 10 to go in the period. Reeling it around the boards. Held in by a skate. Xavier will have to set it back up from here on to Ben Bridges. Ben Bridges going to race this one through. Bridges this one into the gap. Kicks it around the boards now. Trying to find it back up top. Thought about kicking to the blue line. Instead gives it back to the corner boards. Fighting back into this one. Can't find his way to it. Bouncing back up towards that blue line, held on the backhand side. He'll throw the brakes on, steer it back up top. Thought about a shot to the top of the circle, it goes. Wristed, blocked again, wide. Flipped off the glass, out it goes. Good clearance, good start to the penalty kill from Miami of Ohio. This one will be fired all the way back down and turned over onto Lipovic. You can see this is a netminder right now that knows his offense has to get moving and get going, and Zahner was trying to make a play there and just couldn't connect.
Yeah, and it's been difficult. Both of these teams, Dan, are moving at a really good clip right now. They're both moving the puck in ways they want to. They're both having some success on their ends of the ice. And this is a really good back and forth. There's no overwhelming favorite here in this game.
With that one, it's going to be flipped ahead off the boards. It's going to find its way to Morial. Morial gives in loose. Bouncing up off the glass out towards center. Retreating on this one is Jack Dallas. Dallas going to hand it up. Pressure being put on. Cruiser's going to fire it through. Hit the body of Morial, bouncing right back out for Dallas to play it again. Dallas will plinko this one ahead. Under 10 to go in the period. Nice little jump move there by the official to get out of the way as Cruiser resets. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Tell you what, this has not been as successful as the last go-around for the Muskies. Last go-around, it looked like they were going to find one. This go-around, it's been all Miami of Ohio. They have stymied, they have stopped, and they have kept Xavier off the board. Nothing on the board for Xavier. Still 1-0 the score. Miami of Ohio leads 1-0 over the Xavier University Musketeers here in the TSCHL semifinal. A defensive battle. Karasek out of his net with a big paddle to settle that one down. Back up to the blue line, flip through. Nice little pitchfork pass. Reaching out after it, can't find it. Around the net he goes, jammed in front, shot, score! Beautiful pass by Schmidt, and he finds none other than Noah Klinsky, who clinches the back of the net with that one and makes it a 2-goal lead for the Redhawks.
Oh, what a great goal on that one, Dan. That is such a crucial look by the Redhawks to be able to extend that lead, and you win that. You get that goal by winning the board battles. It's been one of those games where those board battle wins can turn into great opportunities.
Eight minutes to go here in the second period. Miami now up by 2. There's going to be a hit on Ben Bridges. The hand's going to go up. It's going to be touched, and the whistle's going to be blown for the interference. You're going to get caught with that one each time. That's going to be a tough one to take there. You just score your goal. But if you're Miami of Ohio, it's just back to business again. You've seen how strong they've been on the penalty kill. And speaking of back to business, let's get back to the business of reminding the folks at home, congratulations to Coach of the Year in the TSCHL, Jake Rochelle of the Bowling Green side here, the Falcons coach. Bowling Green has had a great year in this division, a real turnaround year for the Bowling Green organization. And, they played great against this Louisville side, too, for the hometown crowds in attendance. and Jake Rochelle gets the Coach of the Year nod for Bowling Green.
Yeah, very well deserved, and they had a great game, like you said, against they had a great game yesterday, and they've had a good season, Dan. It's a good program, and we're looking forward to next year.
A reminder to everyone in attendance and everyone watching at home, we will announce the Player of the Year. We will announce the MVP award at the end of this period. When the buzzer sounds, we will announce the MVP of the TSCHL. Back around, Zahner fires it up ahead. That's tipped along by Dallas. Reaching out after this one, trying to get to it. He cannot. Spun back through. Want to know more about the TSCHL Hockey League? Go to tschockeyleague.com and find out everything you need to know, from stats to schedules to standings. Just more about the league. Anything you need. TSCHL, find out why it's the best league in the US of A. How about that? You got nothing for me. What are we going, Jane Silent Bob right here? Are we going to real New Jersey callback? They don't call him the best color commentator in the biz for nothing, folks.
Haven't had one of those in a while there, Dan.
That was just silence out of you. As there's a shot in front, score! A scramble in front of the net. Puck squirts loose in front of Karasik, and Xavier finds the back of the net. A scramble becomes a score, and it's a power play goal. A power play goal for Joe Tobin. Hey, how do you wake the boys up? With a cup of Joe. Tobin, that is.
And that's a well-timed goal by Tobin, because, you get down here by a 2-0 deficit and things start to look a little bit bleaker, but that goal is definitely going to light a fire under the skates of this Xavier team. And, you've got some Xavier fans in attendance, too. They're living and dying on every single play here, Dan, every single shot, every single hit. So this will definitely wake up that side of the rink.
Joe Tobin had a huge goal yesterday to wake the boys up, has another one today. There's a shot that's blocked on the way through. Getting in front of that one was John Cordelicchio. It'll come back around behind the net. Thought about jamming it up high in front. He will not. Stolen away from him. That's Mahan who got to it. He was the Mahan yesterday. Won our Star of the Game award. Flipped on up. Mahan takes it out of the air. Tries to reach out for it. Bounced up. Sliding through. Kicked back along. Stolen by Schmidt. Schmidt already with 3 goals in the tournament. Trying to make another play there. Could not. Klinsky wanted it back. He won't get it. It's dragged in front. Puck squirts loose to the corner. Flipped on through. Out to the blue line. Drag shots handed wide. Thought about kicking that one in front. It'll get tangled up in the skates one more time and fired up towards the blue line. Jammed through with a slap shot. That one kicks wide. Odd little bounce there. Xavier will kick it out all the way back down.
Yeah, that's a great clearance by Xavier, able to get some fresh skates onto the ice.
No, icing
the call.
No touch there. No touch.
You thought you were going to get the touch. You had guys scrambling off there, and it's always so interesting in this long change period, Dan, where, teams that have been up until this point very good and very capable at the clearance and the change, all of a sudden start having some issues, and it can really mess with what a team's trying to do.
It's like the rule from Arrested Development, no touching. But in this case, you want touching because you don't want the icing.
Absolutely.
Back behind their own net with it. Xavier on it. Handed up ahead. Pitchforked up into the ceiling. A huge hit. Mahan slow to get up in front of that Miami of Ohio bench and having a bit of a conversation with the boys over there.
Well, while you're over there, you might want to, see what they're doing after the game.
Hey, guys, how's everything going? How's life?
Seen any good movies lately?
I've seen some bad movies lately. Tell you what, you fly in enough planes with United, you see every bad movie there is.
Not the greatest selection. I'll give you that much.
They do their best. Nobody needs to see Stuber, I can tell you that much. This one poked on through, tangled up at center. My apologies to Kumail Nanjiani and the entire Stuber casting crew. Did not mean to come after you. Also, apologies, Joey Fatone, which we usually give about one a weekend when we're on the road.
We have a lot to make up for in the karmic universe for our defamations against Joey Fatone.
We have gone after Joey Fatone on multiple occasions. He was not the best of the NSYNC. Tangled up in the skates, trying to kick this one free. Still can't find its way out. One day Joey Fatone's going to follow us, Lucas, and we're gonna be there.
We're going to be upset.
That'll be the day we make it. Kicked back around, trying to find his way out. Fired on through. Right through that Cardinal sign. Hands off at the blue line. Thought about giving it back up top. He shot it just wide. The paddle couldn't get it to go. It squirts back out the center and will be settled there. And spinning and getting hit is Philip Smith. Ben Bridges now across the blue line. He'll think about a zone entry shot, tried to push that one on. It got blocked on the way through. Putting his body in the way of that one was Joe Gamicchia. All the way down end-to-end goes Gamicchia. He thinks about a shot. He might just reel this one around the boards. Allows his team to get the wholesale line change. The yeoman's work for Gamicchia allows for the line change. He'll head to the bench now. Xavier on the puck here. Under 5 to go. 2-1 the score. 2-1. Xavier trailing Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio trying to add to it there. Shot was taken, but blocked by Cove Herdick. Hard hit in front of the net. Skating this one all the way in. Tried to get that shot off. He cannot. Plinko pass all the way back out the center. Xavier will retreat and play this one. That's Michael Aarons on that one. Aarons with it. He'll fire it on in deep. Right back down to play it. You can see both teams just happy to get that puck deep, get down on the forecheck, get physical along the boards. And that's why I said this is going to be one of the toughest matchups Miami of Ohio may face along the rest of their road this season. Not just counting this tournament, but in nationals. Xavier's just a tough matchup, and they know each other well. Now they're going to send both off here. 2 different skaters go down, and they're both going to get sent off to the bench.
Yeah, I think there's a little frustration brewing on both of these teams right now, Dan. Miami of Ohio, you know, they're an all-business team, but I'm sure that they were expecting to maybe have a little bit of an easier time in this game, especially on the offensive side of the ice against Xavier. But they should have known better because Xavier is a tough, tenacious squad. They're never willing to say die.
A reminder that at the end of this period, we will be announcing the MVP of the TSCHL. So stick around for that, folks watching at home and around the rink here, as we have ourselves wired up throughout. As this one's won back towards center ice, flipped on in. We'll play 4-on-4 hockey here. Things will open up a bit for now. Jack Dallas trying to skate on by. This may help Xavier a little bit just to get a little bit more creative offensively, as there's a shot from center ice covered up. Whistle will blow under the 4-minute mark now.
And I think both teams right now, Dan, might be happy to try to escape this one relatively unharmed. Miami of Ohio would love to come out of this second period with a 1-goal lead. Xavier just as happy to, as we said in the first period, be essentially tied up here. I think you have to view a 1-goal deficit as not something to worry about, not something to panic over, especially now that you have that first goal in hand.
Lucas, there's a rope that's running through this thing. Is this the only thing holding up this balcony we're on?
No.
I was really wondering if it was for a second.
No, that is what is holding up the ladder that gets us to the balcony.
Oh, good. So it's held up by this small rope. Okay.
It's 2 medium-sized ropes.
Got it. Copy that. I'll forget about it right now as this one's dragged on through and poked away. Dan K not the best with climbing and or flying as this one's fired up for a breakaway chance. 1-on-none, takes the shot. Score! The hand goes up. The puck goes in. It won't matter at all as a breakaway goal ties it up for Xavier. 1v-none, racing down, bearing down on the net of Karasik, and just like that Xavier has made a 2-goal deficit, a tie game, and Ben Bridges is the man who burns them there.
Well, I can tell you what, Dan, there is some hefty arguments happening right there after that goal by the former goaltender. Miami of Ohio coming out, arguing that should not count based on the physicality that happened at the end of that play. I mean, that's one of those patented, keep skating forward and see where the puck gets up, moves, and it's that physicality that Xavier brings day in and day out. But the referee's having a long talk about whether that was a goal or not.
Ben Bridges on the breakaway outlet pass, and Xavier hurts Miami of Ohio with a little taste of their own medicine, leaking the man out at the blue line, leaving him back behind the play, and getting that outlet pass from the defenseman. That's Miami of Ohio to a T right there, and they use the 4-on-4 to break away for a big score, and we will wait to see the decision from the officials here. Good goal. It is a good goal. Xavier ties it back up. Karasik besides himself. Cannot believe it. Frustrated, angry, furious with the call.
Yeah, and Karasik is as unhappy as he is and as mad as he might be. He's got to calm himself down because this Miami of Ohio team would much rather take a goal than have him get thrown out of this game. And players have already been thrown out during this tournament, Dan, so his referees are not afraid.
What a play by Ben Bridges on the break. breakaway. And meanwhile, while one goaltender's frustrated, putting a little water show on the other end. Sage Zahner is the most calm man in the world right now. Just cleaning up around the net, playing around with a water bottle, doing his thing.
Well, I mean, when there's no pucks or players in front of you, these goaltenders are at their equilibrium, Dan. There's no stress in that.
I'll tell you what, I was a pitcher in college, and we ran with a different mindset. Goalies are they might be even odder than us sometimes. They're one of a kind. They're eccentric, as they say.
Oh, they are, but they're great to talk to, and whenever you get a chance to really talk to or interview a goaltender, it's always so much fun because they have such a unique perspective on the game, Dan. They have such a unique view of it. They get to see it from, as we see Zahner keeping himself warm here, making sure he gets keeps his legs underneath him. But they have such an interesting perspective on the game. It really, really is fascinating.
A little over 3 minutes to go. It was a good goal. It will count. 4 out on the ice for Miami of Ohio, 4 out on the ice for Xavier. The penalty will not be given because of the goal scored. And never mind, there will be one white off because they did put this penalty up on the board. Because it's college hockey, Lucas. There you go. 4 on 3. We all do our best. This one's given wide side. Diving pass across. Flailing after it was Karasik. Lucas, you talked about it. Karasik has to settle in now. Xavier on the power play here. Down by 2, then down by 1. Now tied up. That's how math works. This is how a shot works in front. Scramble forward in front. Doesn't go. Right in the post. A huge stop by Karasik to start the Shrimp. Going wide out, tried to fire it through, kicked back on, bouncing puck is shoveled out of the zone, can't find it, on its edge, settling it down is Zahner, thinks about going left with it, he'll go right, shakes the man loose. 20 seconds to go on a 4-on-3. It'll then be a normal 5-on-4 power play for about a minute. Xavier enters the zone. They throw the brakes on. Having a man up top, he'll hand to him. Thought about the slap shot, won't take it. He'll push it wide. Another shot's deflected in front, steered along. Holding on here. Nifty little move is blocked aside. Backhanding this one on. Trying to get there is Dallas. Dallas can't find it. Spinning back through. 2-2 the score. Final 2 minutes of the second period. It's 2s everywhere right now, and it is all Xavier the last few minutes. Miami of Ohio trying to get that world to stop spinning right now, slow things back down. Stick around at the end of this period. We'll be announcing the MVP of the TSCHL. Handed up top now. Racing through this one is Dylan Russo. Russo gets that zone entry, takes the shot low, paddled aside into the glass, back to the corner boards. Fighting on through, reeling it around. Bridge is going to pinch down. Lipovich going to get there first. He'll throw it all the way down to be played by Zahner and settled there. Plinko up ahead. Russo on it. Russo going to pitchfork this one along. On it now is Becker. Becker going to try to dance in this one on through. He threw that one but couldn't find it. Bridges jumps down to it. Out of the box now. It's going to be numbers from Miami of Ohio off the PK. It's happened all weekend long. Handed wide side. Zahner couldn't make the stop. Didn't have to. It was shot too high. Oh, all day long, all weekend long, we've seen teams throughout the TSCHL time up that PK perfectly for the break. Right there, Miami of Ohio was able to, and they were not able to get the score. Whistle blows on a hand pass. Final minute of play here in the second period.
Oh, and Dan, we have worked ourselves into a little bit of a tizzy in this game. All tied up 2-2 going into the third period of play. Miami of Ohio obviously jumping out to that early lead, but this tough, tenacious Xavier team has just absolutely fired their way back into it.
So far, 5 games played in this tournament, not one upset yet, all chalk. Will Xavier be the first team to fire that upset shot? Under 50 seconds to go now. Pushed on up ahead. Miami of Ohio trying to keep this one alive in the zone. Carried on in off the head there. A flipped up pass catches Cruiser right in the noggin.
Well, that's the second of 2 passes that got deflected by a body part of Xavier. The first one over on the far side blue line, they tried to dump it into the zone. He fired the puck, it hit a body, it landed right back at his feet, so he just took another hack at it. That one bouncing off the head up into that low ceiling.
Back on behind with it. He'll push it along the boards. Trying to hold on to it, kicking it ahead with a skate. Left off here into the corner. Under 30 seconds to go now. Miami of Ohio trying a cross-ice pass. Won't find their man. Instead, it's Cartaliccio who clears the zone. Right back in. Colucci kicks it on. Fired cross ice. Going to play this one. It's Cartaliccio. Cartaliccio on across center. Loses control of that one. Reaching out for it. Won't find it. Pitched up off the glass. Under 20 to go. Now under 10. Still sticking this one aside. Colucci gets to it. He'll skate this one out. That will do it. 40 minutes of hockey are in the books. The score tied at 2. Xavier 2. Miami of Ohio 2. What a battle royale we are in for. You better keep watching. And as we tell you that, we want to announce the MVP, the TSCHL regular season MVP. It's a tie, folks. There are 2 co-MVPs. First, from Miami of Ohio University, Torsten Lee. Torsten Lee, MVP of the TSCHL. He's had an incredible season, man. He's a great dude, too, on and off the ice, a big leader for this team. Torsten Lee could not have had a better year.
No, and he even earned one of our Player of the Week honors back in November for a great game that he had. And what a great player Torsten Lee is. He's really lit it up all season long. He's a leader on this team. He's a leader on the ice. It couldn't happen to a better player.
This is a team, man. The Miami, Ohio Redhawks, they just, from through and through, it's class through it. And you talk to Coach about it, they go for class first in the organization, and they know that they can build a player around it. And Torsten Lee's a guy that brought the class, but also brought a lot of talent with him.
Yeah, he certainly has. He has a good hockey lineage and brings a lot of skill to this Miami of Ohio team.
Adding in with Torsten Lee, it's going to be Ryan Hill of Bowling Green, who not only wins the Rookie of the Year, he also is a co-MVP of the TSCHL. How about that for a welcome call to the TSCHL?
Welcome to the league. Here's all our awards. We hope to see you back, and that's got to be a great feeling to have won both of those very prestigious awards.
Ryan Hill going to be starting a hardware store by the time he's done playing in the TSCHL. He might be the next Yanni Sukas.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of metal up on the wall if he continues his career.
I have a lot of metal up on the wall, but I just collect hubcaps. You ever wonder the people who steal the that's me. I steal hubcaps.
Is that you?
Yep. I wear them as necklaces. I'm like Flava Flav, but with less coolness.
Can I get my old one back? I think I lost one around. I lost it around your house. Now it makes a little bit of sense.
That one might have. We'll be back, folks. 2-2 the score. Xavier University ties it up with a 2 unanswered score stretch. At the end of that second period, Dan K. Lucas Jones will be back with a final period of play after this.
4.
Welcome back, hockey fans. You heard that announcement. Your co-MVPs, first Ryan Hill from Bowling Green, not just Rookie of the Year, but MVP of the TSCHL. And joining him as co-MVP, Torsten Lee of Miami of Ohio, as they get ready to take the ice. Torsten Lee's going to have to lead his boys here one last time. Noah Klinsky with a goal in that last period. You saw 2 unanswered from Xavier. Who answers back? Who scores first? Who's going to be the one? That's where you look everybody in the eye in the locker room and you say, who is going to take this game into their hands? Who's making the big play? Who's the guy right now? This is a situation where you want to look that guy in the eye and you want to know that he's got your back.
Yeah, and I think that's what this is boiling down to. It's boiling down to which one of these two teams is going to be able to pull off that final goal. Both of these teams run a confident, capable offensive unit, Dan, but both of these defenses have been just as good. It's interesting because in the last period of play, we saw Xavier check off a few boxes that we had predicted that they might in the second period of play. You know, we knew that Xavier was going to try to find goals in the dirty areas of the ice. We knew they had to continue to play that high, in-your-face style of defensive coverage. And right now, Xavier is going to have to keep the tempo at 115% if they're even going to have a chance of breaking this tie. But I don't know if I can say anything different about Miami of Ohio right now.
That's exactly right, Lucas. You look at this situation right now. Xavier, in the end, they almost didn't want that second period to end. If you're the Xavier Musketeers, you don't want that period to end. You need that thing to keep rolling. You want that thing to keep pushing through because the boys were absolutely on fire there towards the end and battling this Miami of Ohio side.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure both of those teams, for whatever reason, would have wanted to hang on to the end of that particular period, Dan. But, you know, it's almost a shame to say that this game has to end because I would watch these two teams play period after period after period. This has been such a fun matchup to be a part of.
I'm so old. I just injured my left knee standing here. I didn't even move, Lucas. Oh, I'm falling apart.
You're like a peach with bad knees.
Man, I'm 28 going on 89. This one's fired down. Great play there with the glove to scoop up the water bottle by Karasik. Shot by Klinsky.
Nice little warm-up shot.
Nice little warm-up shot. Third period about to get underway. It is hockey time yet again here in Louisville. Hockey time. Xavier on the face-off win. Will it be upset city or will it be all chalk through the TSCHL? Will it be Miami of Ohio v. the Buckeyes? Or will Xavier jump in and spoil the party? Buckeyes v. Musketeers? Buckeyes v. Redhawks? It will be one or the other tomorrow morning at 11:30. You will tune in right here at 11 a.m. Eastern. Look for the link on the Dan K Show Twitter page. 11 a.m. Eastern broadcast start. We'll be doing a pregame show. We'll be announcing the all-honorable mention team. We may even get the commissioner of the TSCHL on the broadcast of ours as a shot in front, stoned by Sage Zahner. An immediate stop there to start the period and a huge one at that. Zahner's going to have to be stellar. He's going to be perfect the rest of the way here. This Miami of Ohio team, you can see it already. They're already going after it. They can smell it, trying to find their way to it. They know how to win. They've done this before. They've battled through these situations. Xavier trying to learn that winning way right now. Lipovich behind his net. He'll fire it up ahead. On a change here, Miami of Ohio. It couldn't be played there. Would have been too many men on the ice, so having to let that skate by was Daniel McGeever. Stolen away by McGeever, though. Gives it wide side. Torsten Lee has a diving play, blocking the puck out of the way as Lipovich takes the shot. It's stopped on the way through back out to the point. Oh, out of the gates fast here. The Redhawks are going right after it, jamming it from the odd side. Couldn't get it through. It was blocked on the way. Flips this one off a stick. Skating back out the center. 1:10 into the period. Zahner's already had to make 4 stops. Lucas, you can see these guys right now just right out of the gates fast.
Yeah, you know, I think both of these squads are coming out with a little bit of fire under their skates, and, you know, that fire is really appropriate, especially in this do-or-die game here. There's nothing like coming into the semifinal round, third period, all tied up. You know, you heard the coach of Miami of Ohio say it. Everybody's out here fighting for their lives out here on this rink for either for this tournament or for regionals placements, and these are two competitive squads who want a seat at the table.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you, this has been, I can't imagine how tired these boys are out there. This is our 5th broadcast of the weekend, 6th game of the weekend, and, you know, we're battling through with the voices as well.
Yeah, we are certainly battling through up here. It is a cold rink, and it is a lot of hockey to be yelling about.
The big thing is you learn in your time as a broadcaster when you do events like the Olympics or you do events where you have a lot of games in a small amount of days, that if you go too hard too fast, you become Jim Nantz from the Masters by the time you reach the title game. Hello, friends.
And welcome to a very quiet broadcast.
A babbling brook and a game of hockey here in Louisville. This one comes back up top to the center ice area, kicked back on behind. Flipped on off the glass, bouncing puck all the way through. Hand does not go up for the icing. Originally it did. Fired back out. They'll catch him on a change. It's Ben Bridges, who's already got one breakaway score today. He had the game tying goal, but he won't be able to get through him there. Handed back on up top. With this one, it's Joey Jenkins. Jenkins going to go wide side with a backhand in front. Can't find his man. Tipped back along, flipped up off the glass, bouncing out towards center. Jenkins retreats. Jenkins along with Drew Bishop. Bishop going to fire it off his own man. Turn it over there with a shot. It went glove side and high. Looked like it was going to go. Unleashing that one was Rookie of the Year, Mitch Morial. And he just missed glove side, just missed it.
Well, that's one of those plays that just kills you because you look at how that's created. And the turnover in the own zone is such a difficult thing to stomach as a coach and as a team. And it's one of those things where in a game like this, you need to make sure that doesn't happen.
Face-off one up ahead. Miami of Ohio out with this one. Torsten Lee, the player of the year, the MVP of the TSCHL. Skates that one in. Puck came back out offside. The whistle offside to call. A little over 17 to go here in the third.
And I think both teams right now just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together that might work for them here. You know, there's a lot of different looks that both squads have gone through, a little bit of a mix and match style here. And I think both coaches kind of relish the opportunity to really deploy some of this hockey IQ in a game against one another.
Flipped on in, paddled along, covered up by Zahner. Whistle blows over the 17-minute mark here, 2-2 the score.
And you know what's interesting, Dan, is the ability of, I think, both of these teams to operate in the stop-and-go style just as much as they're able to operate in this run-and-gun style. As that slap shot is fired, and you get to see the little bit of power that comes through as well.
Big time shot there, stolen away. Remind you to vote for the star of the game with hashtag star of the game at _DanK Show. This one thrown in front. That's tipped aside. Reeling it on through. Hard hit there. Splashing down face first is Schmidt. Carried on through the point. The shot comes up at Lucas. Watch out, Lucas.
Never flinch.
Oh, thank you, Nets. Mr. Jim Nets. Is that the guy who invented Nets? Is that what he called it, the net?
I think so. I think that's why you call it the net. You can't flinch, Dan. You got to wear it if it comes up here.
Oh, trust me, I don't flinch. I don't have the reaction to do that. I don't have the hand-eye coordination.
I would flinch if I could.
I'd love to flinch, but I'm going to wear that one when it comes up here. Hand it on off to Philip Smith. Looking for this one, he'll plinko it up ahead. Stolen away at center, down in deep. Sage Zahner out of his net to settle it with a big paddle one more time. Flipped back up for Lipovich. He'll just jump this one back around the boards. Flipped back up top, trying to find his way. Lipovich back skating with this one at center. Hard hit off the body of Lipovich. Nifty little move down past. Trying to race into the zone, he will. Unmarked and unmanned, it's Hunter who takes the shot. That's Hunter Wallace, who had a report right there, and that was trying to report to the back of the net.
Oh, Miami of Ohio kind of defaulting to what they has been successful for them in this tournament, this game, and really all season is that kind of zone entry look there. They're not afraid to let their guys go in and try to get an unmarked and unmanned and take a few pot shots at the net. A lot of times those low shots or those mid-level shots will turn into second chance opportunities.
Around into the corner here, holding that one against the boards. Jams it back up around, looking for it up towards the blue line. That's Ben Bridges. Finds its way to Lipovich, who takes a clapper right there. Get the howitzer out and fire it on net, but Zahner is going to glove it.
Oh, these the Red Hawks are just teeing up right now. Get those tees a little higher up the ground and just kind of start firing shots at the goaltender. You know, there's something to be said for a quantity approach over quality, especially late in the game.
Xavier trying to get on the break here. Defenseman loses an edge. That'll allow him into the zone. Pass in front, couldn't get it. Andrew Best comes in with a big hit. That squirts it loose. He threw it in front off the stick of Lipovich, who steers it to the corner. Big play by Jack Lipovich. Andrew Best then going to dish out a hard hit there. Jumping into the play, trying to whisk this one away. They cannot. Spinning look to the top of the circle. Now from the point, the slap shot is blocked. Getting in the way of that one is going to be number 20, Noah Tilton. Trouble not gone yet. Still fighting through with this one, trying to keep it alive. Bridges heading to the bench for a change. The whistle blows. Hand pass the call. A little over 15 to go in regulation. Somebody's going to have to break this tie eventually, even if it doesn't happen in regulation.
Yeah, one way or another, we're going to get another goal scored here, Dan. And, you know, I don't think either of these teams wants to go to overtime. I think they'd rather handle this one 5-on-5 on the ice, running the systems that they're comfortable running.
Well, I believe it's 5-on-5 continuous here, Lucas. Playoff hockey right now here at the college level. We will keep you up to date with that as there's a nifty move across center. Held at the blue line, not for long. He's going to be reeled around. Trying to settle it out of his net is Karasik. Onto that one, leaving it off there. Couldn't find it. Now kicks it through. Back on top, trying to center it is Morial. Now does with the backhand shot, stoned by Karasik at point-blank range. Cruiser with the shot, Karasik with the save. Oh, a great look there for the Musketeers, stealing this puck away, right back at it again. Reaching out for it. By the way, Lucas, remember what Dan K's prediction was before this game started.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That is right, didn't I? Didn't I tell you that? As there's a backhand shot on net. Paddled aside to the corner. Jammed back along. If anybody's wondering, Dan K predicted an overtime game with Miami of Ohio winning in overtime.
In the first 17 seconds, I believe.
I said in the first 17 seconds. That would be really cool if I get all that right. I said it would be a Noah Klinsky face-off win forward and a quick score if they did go to overtime. We'll see. Xavier fans not going to be happy with that pregame prediction from Dan K.
Certainly not.
Miami Ohio fans, I don't think they want to hold on to their hats for that long. They want to win it now. Both sides trying to get that goal, trying to break this tie. Jamming on into that, that's Torsten Lee. He'll fire that one ahead. Out with it now is Madsen. He'll flip this one on in, head to the bench. A wholesale line change now for the Miami Redhawks. They'll leave Philip Smith out. Up towards the Blues. Smith going to tap that one along. Get hit hard into the board. Squirts back out the center. Little game of catch there. Jammed right back in. That's now going to be Bishop and Jenkins who jump over the boards on the defensive end. Bishop with this one. He'll take the slap shot. Got low on that one, but kicked it just wide. All the way back out for Jenkins to retreat after. Back to Bishop. Bishop cross ice now. Nifty little move there. Racing through with this one's McGeever. McGeever tries to hand it off. It's stolen away. Fakes the pass now, makes this one out. That's going to be jammed on in. Takes a good bounce. It's swatted aside by Karasik. Taking no chances there. Hard hit into the corner. Bishop going to get involved, try to poke it away. Philip Smith back on it. Nifty move by him. He'll fire down. It wasn't touched. It's going to be an icing against Miami. Some tired skates out there right now. A good 40 seconds out there if you can keep them on there. Right now they're in that middle range where it's still a comfortable shift. But if you're a Xavier, if you can get that big face-off win, you can put them in an uncomfortable situation after a few moments.
Well, you really have to find a way to start putting the pressure on and start putting some continuous pressure on. The longer you keep the Redhawks in their defensive zone, the more tired they're going to be, and that'll give you some advantages in the fact that you'll be able to find some space.
Face off one back to the blue line. Dragged and shot. Gets blocked on the way. Bishop steals it away. Fires it right back out to that blue line. Spinning jab at that one. Couldn't be reached by Bridges. Going to be pushed back up to Smith. Smith's hit hard at center. Puck trickles loose. Trying to get onto that one. Now it's going to be number 97, Chris Becker. On through, fired on net from center ice. Karasik going to catch it, take no chances. Whistle will blow quickly there. Stoppage and an attack zone face-off coming for Xavier.
That was a bit of a line drive from center field on that one, Dan. That had some firepower behind it. A little zip on that shot, but you know, I think we saw in the last game too that there's something to be said for the idea of firing that puck in the zone and getting the offensive zone face-off, especially if you're confident in your face-off guys.
I'm going to tell you one thing that factors in a lot in conference tournament hockey. It's the idea of when you're on neutral ice, you don't always know all the bounces, you don't always know all the springs, but as it goes on, you become more comfortable. You're starting to see a lot of teams try to fire high at that glass, and the netminders doing a good job to get the glove to it and not allow them as a shot goes there from the hip. A no-looker from Cruiser goes wide. Another shot here deflected up into the netting and out of play with 11:40 to go.
And right now, I think Xavier has got a little bit of the edge. You know, you see the Xavier goaltender skating around. He doesn't have much to do right now because Xavier's been skating downhill. They've been doing a good job of maintaining possession. And this is the kind of hockey that you want to see against the number one seed. You have to manage the game successfully if you want to come out the victor.
Xavier v. Miami of Ohio. Winner faces the Buckeyes for the title. Who will make the next step? Will it be David? Will it be Goliath? Miami of Ohio, the defending champions, trying to do it again. They've already been down this road. A lot of returners here that have raised that cup. They know the excitement. They know the glory. They know the happiness that comes with winning it. Xavier trying to learn of it as this one's fired down. The whistle blows, icing the whistle, icing the call.
And I think right now, you know, Miami of Ohio really needs to kind of recover and reset. You know, they're looking a little gassed right there on the ice. You know, the bench is looking a little flat as well, and they need something to get it going. And sometimes, you know, that could be a big hit. Sometimes it's a big play. But, you know, this is when the leaders on the team need to step up.
There's a shot. Save made by the paddle there of Zahner. He'll get the cover up on that one.
But yeah, and this is when it's time for those team leaders to really get involved. Those guys that have been, you know, the guys in the locker room that get the guys jazzed up, the guys out there on the ice who are able to make the big play, make the big hit, and make a statement. This is that time of the game. This is that time of the year.
Lucas, my hair is frozen. I don't even know how. I didn't wet it. Doesn't make any sense. The coldness in here has absolutely frizzed it. There's not a product in the world that could help. Nor was there before. This one's tapped in through. Zahner goes full split ski there to try to make the stop, and it goes over his head and wide. I mean, for years I was told I had a face for radio. I thought it was a great compliment. Oh, the day I figured out it wasn't. Disappointing, if you ask me. Chipped back through. Halfway through this third and final period, the shot goes just wide, glove side on Zahner. It'll be reeled up and out of play. Whistle blows. Lucas, something's got to give here, right? Somebody's got to find a way.
Well, I think both of these teams are giving a very measured approach right now. Neither one wants to get burned like they have been in this game. And so what you're seeing kind of a 75% approach to the offensive side. You're keeping the defensemen high to prevent anything leaking out behind you. The forwards aren't fully committing so that they can get back on defense. This is a game where both teams are going to have to try to figure something out, and soon.
Fired across, D-man to D-man look here. This one will be jammed through. Getting to it, holding that one down is going to be number 17, Brendan Madsen. Madsen kicks this one back across for Gamickia. Gamickia back to Madsen. Madsen up ahead for Smith. Smith's going to find his man. That's Torsten. No correction. That's Hunter Wallace. That's Waffle boarded away. One-timer shot from the blue line stopped. Rebound, try paddled aside. Another chance underneath the body now of Zahner. Fourth time was the charm. And with that, speaking of charm, how about PNC Bank? The TSCHL tournament is sponsored by PNC Bank. With their online and mobile tools, PNC Bank makes it easy to open a personal or business account. Get started with a home loan and help safeguard your financial future. PNC, your trusted bank for more than 160 years. Man, guy just knows how to do a read, even when he doesn't have a voice. My voice is gone.
It's second nature at this point, Dan.
It's going to be all honey and hot water for Dan K tonight. Under 10 to go now in regulation. Back to the corner, 2-2 the score. Trying to find their way through. This one poked ahead. Thought about a spinning shot, won't take it just yet. It's back out to the blue line. Good look through body. Zahner lets it skate on by. That one poked on in, trying to get it at the blue line. Out it comes. It's going to create a race the other direction. Kicking that one in deep and making the play there was Patrick O'Meara. He had a goal yesterday against Ohio, has not gotten on the board yet today. Handed back off, finds its way to the point. The shot there was stopped by Karasik. He had to come up big. He came up huge. Back in behind for Cruiser. Cruiser spins and takes the shot. It's blocked. Just getting in too early on that one was Russo. Russo was a step ahead of that puck. If he was a step later, it would have been perfect timing for an opening goal score. This one's flipped on out of play. Whistle blows. What a good flurry there for Xavier.
Yeah, and you got to give it to the to Miami of Ohio defenseman who's able to get in there and help out the goaltender. That's a pretty timely stick on the ice that's able to save potentially the go-ahead goal.
Exactly right. Over here, hydrated. Face off one there. It's wristed up over the head of the netminder. Spinning pass out on. Trying to get back after this Cruiser. Cruiser will find it at center. He'll jam it on ahead. Smith will leave this one off. Handed back on to Smith. Gretchenette's Russo. Russo got to that one. He tried to center it along. Had it tipped away. Back into the zone, their own zone now. Back skating with it is going to be Jacob Schmidt. Schmidt gets hit hard at center ice there by Ben Bridges and stays on his feet as it's flipped on up to center. Xavier back on it, trying to find that opening. If they can get out here quick, they might have a shot at it. Instead, they're going to turn it back to the corner to those Zam doors. Lipovich will win the race to it. Neither side able to find that zone pressure they're looking for right now to get that last potential goal to get them to the tee. Popped up into the air, out of play, catching glove. Fair catch called for by Sage Zahner. They'll receive.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Dan, because, as we kind of talked about this measured approach for both of these teams, you saw what that looks like on the part of Xavier. Two pretty decent opportunities on the zone entry that just kind of petered out. They didn't really go anywhere. And, I think it's a mistake for both of these teams to be hatching back right now. You have to press the attack.
Fired back at the center. Into their own zone, that's going to go to the blue line. Trying to jam it along, that's Philip Smith. Smith can't keep it. Smith now across the blue line, has a man behind him, tried to drag it along, it's poked away on behind. Spinning pass up top, Bridges can't reach it, he'll pitchfork this one up ahead. Trying to jam at that one, hits the boards, bounces back out the center, spun back along. Lipovich now out with this one, he'll get into the zone, fire that off the glass. Reeling this one around, down the plate is Hunter Wallace one more time. Thought about going in front with it, puck's gonna squirt its way loose. I tell you, Miami of Ohio's getting that presence early, and then they're not able to get that pass they've had so much success with all year long. Just unable to finish it right now. It's gonna take a finishing touch. Trying to catch him on the change here, Xavier. They won't. Right back onto the stick of Jenkins. He'll go D-man to D-man here on to Drew Bishop. Bishop back out ahead. Trying to reel it in. They can't. It's going to be Quinn Cronin with the shot. It's blocked wide. Cronin gets it back again. Trying to reel it around the boards. All Miami of Ohio the last few minutes here. Xavier trying to break it out. Doesn't matter who's controlling the game. It just matters who puts more goals up on the board. And I'm sure Xavier's aware of that right now. So are the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio. Fired on ahead, cross ice look, bouncing on down. Herdick couldn't reel it in, Xavier can. Fired on the center. Nifty little pass off by Matthew Mahan, who was the man yesterday, man. He was the man, Matthew Mahan. Big time star of the game award winner yesterday. Pokes back up to the blue line. Tries to squirt this one loose. He cannot. Puck trickles on out the center. Fired back onto the stick of Bishop. Have to get back on side. They will. Bishop will jimmy this one back out the center onto Torsten Lee. Torsten Lee going to rattle this one around the boards. Throw little breaks on here. Nice little snow show and hand back up for a quick shot by Klinsky that's blocked. Almost created a breakaway off the blocked shot, but Klinsky's able to poke it away with a second chance effort. Around he goes. Klinsky thought about throwing it in front. Hits a body there with it. And now go to the point. The shot by Bishop is waffle boarded away. A little over 5 minutes to go now in regulation. Still tied at 2 here. It squirts back out the center. To Mickey and Al. He'll get that zone entry. Throws on the brakes, takes a shot. It's paddled back into the corner. Trying to get there is Jacob Schmidt. He will. Not for long until now in the second chance. He puts his body against the boards. It's tough to get this puck out. Now here it goes. 1v1 race. Poking it back to himself. Takes the shot on net. Stop. Kick save and a beauty by Karasik. Down to the ice he goes. Splashing off a hard hit is Dylan Russo. What a beautiful play. Incredible hand. Silky mitts. And even better pad stop by Karasik.
What a tenacious play by Russo, keeping that puck in the zone.
This one goes wide side. Thought about throwing it in front. Jams it on the skate. It stops. Rebound try still doesn't go. Third try, the puck still sitting there. No one can get a stick to it. Finally, they do. It's kicked to the corner. That's McGeever who gets involved. Correction, it's Torsten Lee. There's a broken stick against the Zamdors. Lipovic has to get to it. Smith's going to have to jump in and get involved now. Lipovic asking for a stick. The D-man won't get one just yet. Holding wide side. Now he has one on his hand there, trying to get it the best he won't. Lee out on the break. They're going to lose the numbers because of the need of a stick for Lipovic. So they'll just have to tie it up, stop it up, and kick it deep. Down goes McGeever off the pass from Lee. Fired back out the center. A little over 4 to go now. Next goal could be the one that wins it. Next goal could send a team to a title matchup with the Buckeyes. Who will make the next move? Who will be the hero today? We will have to continue to watch here to find out. You are watching along with the Dan K Show on beautiful, beautiful YouTube.com, home of the Dan K Show. This one back up top. There's a shot through bodies. Reeled around, trying to get their way back out now. That's going to be Best who fires ahead. It's going to create a break here. Odd side has a man coming through. Throws the brakes on, couldn't keep it. That's Ben Bridges now. Still a stick in that area, so he had to make the backhanded pass a little earlier than he wanted to. Best was flashing through, couldn't get it. That flips up and out of play. 3:30 to go in regulation. Somebody's got to find the back of the net.
And it's not for lack of trying, I think, as Xavier takes a timeout here. And that's a well-timed timeout. You know, it's been such a great back and forth third period of play here, Dan. You know, I think Miami of Ohio has sort of not been on their offensive game. They have tried to push the issue. They've tried to force the issue. They've gone back to their 5-man offensive in the zone style. That hasn't worked either. Xavier has put up such a good defensive front, and some of that starts on the offensive side of the ice, and I feel like Xavier has spent more time in the offensive zone than not here in the third period of play.
One big thing to know here is when you look at this situation, it's look at the idea of Miami of Ohio and Xavier University, right? You look at, if you're Xavier right now, if I told you it was going to be 2-2 and you were going to have Sage Zahner in net with a chance to keep you in it, you'd be happy. If I'm Miami of Ohio, if I told you it was going to be 2-2 in this situation, you'd wonder what you did wrong because you've been so dominant all year long. This has been such a good game, such a fun matchup. And I'm not sure, were we getting chirped from the crowd there? I felt like we were.
we may have been getting chirped from the crowd. We love it. We love the interaction.
Yesterday at the 4 o'clock game, we had Xavier versus Ohio. The Ohio fans were chirping us hard. I can promise you that. Back up top, flipped around. On behind, thought about going to get it. Going to be stolen away, thrown off the boards. Nice little bounce off the stanchion. Held in at the blue line, keeping this one alive. He'll push this one back in deep. That's Morial, couldn't reel it in. Instead, it's going to be Klinsky to get it. It's going to create a break the other way. Torsten Lee going to hand this one off. Racing on out with this one. Wide side is Schmidt. Schmidt going to go behind the net. Takes the backhand try before that, and it reels around the boards. Flip back in, little pitchfork play. Trying to get their hard hit. Spinning pass out to the blue line. One more hard hit there. Trying to body man off puck. A nice job to do that. Kicked back in behind. Klinsky couldn't reel it in. Klinsky, what a job there to keep that one alive. That looked like 3 different occasions it was going to be taken away from him. He just kept it on his stick. There's a shot that goes wide. Still behind. Jammed in front. Couldn't put it on net. It'll reel around the glass now, hit the netting, and go out of play. Attack zone face-off coming up here for Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, this is big. This is a big moment for Miami of Ohio, Dan, because this is that offensive zone face-off that they've been, I think, looking for, and looking for a couple of. If they can win the draw here and get a quick shot on net and collapse. I think now is the time of game where you start collapsing the net hard on every single shot. You got to look like a basketball team out there, selling out for the rebound and the second chance. That's what's going to win. That's what's going to win this game for Miami of Ohio.
A little over 2 to go now in regulation. 2-2 the score. Something has to give. Winner heads to the TSCHL Tournament Championship game. Miami of Ohio trying to repeat. Xavier trying to get back to the big dance. Backhanded along, jammed right in by McGeever. That'll reel itself around the boards. Down to play this one, it's going to be Hunter Wallace hunting after it. Can't get to it just yet. Held up with the skate. Racing on here, trying to pressure man behind the net. Wallace gets tangled up with him. Puck squirts loose. Back into the corner. Throwing on the brakes. Out towards that blue line. Will be jammed up off the glass and out. What a job by both sides in this one. An incredible matchup between these two teams. It has been so fun to watch as McGeever has to throw the brakes on. That'll be jammed on in. Zahner's going to put the stick out there, try to get it with a big paddle. Tangled up along the boards. Flipped on out with a backhand pass. Takes an odd deflection there. Lucas, I'm getting close to Vicky Valancourt time in this game. It ain't no guess.
That's what it's going to be.
What it's going to be. Those of you who haven't seen The Water Boy, check it out. 25 years late, but go ahead.
It's never too late.
Back around the boards, taken at the blue line, has space for a shot. It's taken just wide. A good wrister by Madsen. Back up top, Madsen pinches the boards there, holds it with a body. Really good hustle play by Madsen. He's had a good game today. This one flipped off the boards, back into the corner, trading places. Spun with a shot, took a deflection, and a little backhand glove play there by Zahner.
That's a confident play by the goaltender. That's a play by a goaltender who is locked in 100% right now, Dan. We are in store for a wild finish to this game.
Little over a minute remaining in this one. Time ticking away. Who will be the team to score it? Who will be the team to reign victorious? Will it be in regulation? If it is, you'll see it in the next minute or so. Or will we go to overtime? Losing an edge there, down to the ice he goes. Drew Bishop down to play it. Under a minute remaining in regulation. 2-2 the score. TSCHL semifinal. The number 1 seeded Miami of Ohio Redhawks taking on the number 4 seeded Xavier Musketeers. Will it be a Musketeer day, or will it be a Red Hawk cacaw soaring on their way? Out by him goes Noah Klinsky. Klinsky with a shot, just goes wide glove side. The rebound try is tapped along as well and doesn't go home. In front of the net, Klinsky with a diving one-handed stab at it. Couldn't tap it home either. Oh, what a job by Noah Klinsky here. Back up top. Bishop couldn't reach it. Just tapped it back along. They'll spin it back in deep. Time ticking away now. Under 20 to go. Back out the center. Xavier looking exhausted right now. Really using every ounce of their energy to stay in this one. Just going to spin this thing out and ride it into overtime. Miami Ohio steals it away, though. Trying to get the last second shot off was Philip Smith. He will not get it on net. That will do it. 60 minutes of hockey was not enough. Overtime hockey on its way. Xavier University, Miami of Ohio Redhawks heading to overtime. They'll head to the benches. They will take a breather. We will take a breather, and we will be back with 5-on-5 overtime hockey ? Everyone's starting to move. 2-2 the score. Yes, that is correct. It is playoff hockey. You will get a nice cut, and we will go to 5-on-5 hockey. Someone has to score eventually, Lucas, before we can leave.
That's right, Dan. Someone has to score, and right now it is all up in the air who that is going to be. Is it going to be Xavier on the back of their tenacious offensive play and their ability to manage the puck, or is it going to be Miami of Ohio and their silky mitts and fast skates?
We're going to see, and I will tell you what. Before this game started, Dan Kay said it was going to be a 2-2 overtime game, tied up, Miami of Ohio against Xavier University. And I told you that Noah Klinsky was going to score 17 seconds into overtime.
How does it feel to be this
close? See if I am right. I am right on the edge of this thing. I will tell you what, if I am right about that, I may retire today. This may be the last day of my career, which for some may be a day of celebration, for others a day of sadness. Lucas would probably celebrate. But I'll tell you what, it is tourney time, baby, and it is awesome out here. We'll be back with more after this. Overtime hockey is next. A little free hockey on top of your free hockey. Miami of Ohio, Xavier University tied at 2. Winner goes to the finals. Welcome back, hockey fans. Hopefully you've been having fun chatting with our online team here throughout the break. We've had a lot of chatter on the Dan K Show page according to that, as Lucas and I have been resting our voices and getting ourselves ready for the next period. We have announced the Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year, so let me jump back into this for you real quick and just get my Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year up. One Player of the Year I can remind you of is Torsten Lee of Miami of Ohio, MVP of the TSCHL. Congratulations to Torsten Lee. He's had an incredible year. And what a time, man, to be with this squad. This is a guy who is next level. You also had Ryan Hill, who joined him as co-MVP from Bowling Green. Ryan Hill also, he's going to take all the hardware home, as he got a second trophy as Rookie of the Year. Alongside him was Xavier's Mitch Morial. So you got a lot of hardware on the ice today for Xavier and Miami of Ohio. Torsten Lee and Ryan Hill, your MVPs. Ryan Hill and Mitch Morial, your co-rookies of the year. Tomorrow, we will be announcing the all-honorable mention team, the all-second team, and the all-first team of the TSCHL throughout the broadcast. We will start with the all-honorable mention team on our pregame show live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube. We'll send the link out from our page prior to game time. We will then, during the first intermission, announce the all-second team, and during our second and final intermission, we will announce the all-first team of the TSCHL. What a season, what a year it's been for the TSCHL. Commissioner Tim Driscoll and the whole crew out here, we thank you for bringing the Dan K Show out. We have a great time on these trips, a great time on these voyages, and who doesn't love a good Zamboni malfunction before an overtime period of a long weekend? Always got to check to see how much snow is in the Zamboni, Lucas. And with that, I introduce you in a man who always knows how much snow is in the Zamboni, Lucas Jones.
Thanks, Dan. And also, not just Zamboni expert on the show, but part-time social media team. I like that I was referred to as the entirety of the team. I like that.
You're the whole team, I thought. I thought you had a couple guys.
You know what? It's fun. You grab a cup of coffee, you grab the stool that the University of Louisville is so kindly given us, and you chat with the folks at home. Because without the folks at home, we got nothing.
Yep.
That's it. Without you guys at home watching this game, and without everybody that's in attendance listening to us as we yell our broadcast throughout the rink, who are we?
Who am I? Who am I?
But just two people screaming into the void about hockey. We are so lucky and grateful to be able to be screaming about it with you.
Oh man, we'd be Les Miserables if we were didn't have people to listen to us sing, and talk about the game of hockey.
That pronunciation hurt my heart.
You talking about Les Miserables?
Oh boy,
I don't know. I'm
5 years of French you took.
I took 5 years of French, and all I know how to say is "de bonbon pour moi," but it got me 2 candies every time. Je m'appelle Dan.
There you go.
Ça va?
Bien.
Nah. Si.
And that's about it. That is as much French as we know. But I'll tell you one thing we do know, Dan. We know a lot about the game of hockey, and especially about this particular hockey game that is about to restart in front of our very eyes.
This is not looking great. Little snow on the center of the ice. You never like to see a shovel have to go out there. This is, got it. Okay. Searching for contact lenses. Swing number 2. Got that one. Getting those boulders off of there. It's always important. This way you got to put them on skates here, and you got to skate them through this. Well, normally go back in and scoop it all up.
I was going to say, at the last Ranger game I went to, they had about 12 of the best skaters that I've ever seen with shovels.
They do a great job, man. The ice crew comes out there and scoops it up. That's what you need right now. You need a couple folks to skate out. You just put a couple these little guys over here, get them running out there. They
got a ton of energy, these kids. They'll go skate out there.
No reason they can't get that done.
Well, we thank our ice crew here because they're doing a heck of a job. Whenever you have a tournament like this come into town, it's always so much harder to care for the ice because there's so many ice cuts that happen so frequently all throughout the day. So you really got to give it up to the ice crew that's been maintaining it here in Louisville.
I feel like we have some odd Zamboni hex on us.
That is also true.
We deal with more Zamboni malfunctions than I'd say Doc Emmerich has ever seen in his life.
We've had a Zamboni explode coolant all over the rink.
We did. We had a Zamboni
in New Hampshire.
We had a Zamboni in Boston run directly through the boards. That was a mess.
Yeah. That checking nobody straight through the boards. Then there was the Zamboni that chopped a softball-sized hole in the ice, also in Massachusetts.
That was in Massachusetts. Then there was the Zamboni in Florida that created a methane issue.
Yes.
There was a carbon monoxide
issue.
And they had it idling. It was stuck at center ice, and they had to clear the building. Zamboni problems.
And that's all been in, 2 years?
Hashtag Zamboni problems. Tweet to the Dan K Show and let us know your biggest Zamboni problem. When have you dealt with Zamboni issues in your life?
That'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the, these are all hockey folks. It'll be interesting to think of, Dan, how many Zamboni cuts you've seen in your life. I think that's an interesting question for the folks at home. When you really think about it, how many times have you watched a Zamboni cut the ice?
525,600 Zamboni cuts. That's how many Zamboni cuts I've seen every year.
A musical mood today, apparently, while we wait for the players to retake the ice.
That's exactly right. Anything else from you?
No, I think that does it, Dan.
We're just up here killing time here. TSCHL semifinals right now. Winner heads on to the TSCHL tournament championship game tomorrow to face the Ohio State Buckeyes, who have already punched their ticket. Two incredible games today. First one, a 2-1 Ohio State Buckeyes win. This one, a barn burner here in Louisville. And Lucas, this is what playoff hockey's all about.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, you can't think of any better way to determine who goes to the final championship game tomorrow than with a little overtime hockey. And, for the folks at home watching, this is going to be an endless, continuous 5-on-5. This game only ends when someone scores a goal, and we're going to keep playing regulation hockey until that happens.
First goal wins it. Sudden death.
That's it.
Nothing else. You put it in the back of the net. That referee, he points at the net and says, good goal. We say good day. That's how this works. That's how this overtime's going to work. It's how it, I guess it's always worked, eh?
That's true. And the one great thing about being in overtime, Dan, is for the folks at home, you have even more opportunities to let us know who you think that our Dan K Show hashtag star of the game should be. For those of you watching, you've heard all the names that we've been talking about. I'm sure you've got your favorite players at home. So make sure you tweet to us or comment on Instagram at @Dan K Show. Use the hashtag star of the game. Type the player who you think the star of the game is. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you can just type it right into the chat box.
How about the Dan K Show? How about we go hashtag Dan K OT Challenge? Why don't you reach out to us? Why don't you tweet to us with hashtag OT Challenge? Let us know who you think scores the game-winning goal. Tweet, Instagram, Facebook, on the YouTube live here. Anywhere you want to go, you reach out. Let us know. Put it on record. Let's see if you're smarter than the Dan K Show. The Dan K OT Challenge. Who scores the big one?
We've already had a couple of guesses. We've had a guess from Will Lincoln, who thinks he's got it right. We've had a guess from Anna Lee Eddy, both on the YouTube stream, who have both put in their guesses for who they think is going to score the game-winning goal. I mean, with the amount of offensive weaponry on both sides of the ice, Dan, you feel like it could be any number of people out here. I mean, you've got obviously your top-line scorers that are always threatening, but both of these teams have really been tenacious, first line through fourth. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of looks they come out with here, because at the end of the third period, what we saw was both teams keeping their defensemen high, not allowing them to crash the net, trying to make sure that they were protected and guarded against kind of a zone leak out early or a costly turnover in the neutral zone. It'll be interesting to see if both teams continue to employ that more conservative strategy here. I feel like the first team to kind of go for it and crash the net is going to be the one to take advantage of it.
You know what Dick Vitale would say about this OT that's coming up?
Oh, boy.
It's going to be awesome, baby. Awesome with a capital A. Here we go. Reynolds taking the ice, baby. I'll tell you what, you look at Torsten Lee, he's the 3S man. He's super scintillating sensational. And you're talking about Mitch Morial on Xavier, baby. Mitch Morial, that kid's a diaper dandy. He's a diaper dandy, baby. You know what Marv Albert says about that impression? Yes! Yes!
Oh, boy.
How about Howard Cosell? Let's bring him into the booth here for a second. Lucas, How do you feel about today's broadcast?
I feel like it's gone well. I feel like this has been a top-notch broadcast, if I do say so myself. I'm a little biased, Howard, but I think we've done a pretty good job for ourselves. What do you think?
Would you eat the moon if it were made out of cheese? That was terrible. That was bad.
Oh, that was awful. Enough of Dan K's Wheel of Impressions.
We had to kill about 45 minutes for this intermission. What do you want from me?
I don't know. Do you have another
dressed
45
like a circus act, but I don't have the tricks.
Well, thank you, folks, for sticking with us through quite a bit here of a break. We had a late Zamboni, then a long Zamboni, then a manual Zamboni.
Ooh, Steve Zahner says Mike Aarons with a blue line clap bomb will win it. Big time pick right there. We'll see who's going to get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, 60 minutes of hockey was not enough. 20 minutes of hockey will be put up on the board. We will not need to play all of it if someone scores. Next goal wins. Who will be the hero? Who was in that locker room knowing to themselves that they will not allow themselves to lose? Xavier University, Miami of Ohio. It is hockey time, and it is overtime here in Louisville. Flip back up. D-man to D-man look. Nice little pass there. Jammed right ahead by Cole Shelgren. Xavier trying to get right after it. Going to get down to this one. That's Lipovich. Lipovich turns it over. Trying to jam it in from behind. Got stick the side. Reeling it back to the corner. Has a man up top of the blue line. Won't give it to him just yet. Spinning with a shot. It's blocked wide. And Dan K's prediction of 17 seconds goes out the window here, Lucas. Stolen right away. Flipped on off the boards by Shelgren. Back down to play it there in his own zone is going to be Noah Tilton. Tilton trying to tilt the ice there, but has it stolen away. It's going to be Morial who takes it in. Morial tried to find his man, was a step behind him with a pass. This is going to be a break the other way now. Out come Miami, Ohio. Holding wide side, that's Schmidt. He was already a star of the game yesterday. Will he take all of our hats home with him this weekend? There's an odd bounce off the Zamdors. Out it comes. Mahan going to hand this one off. Racing ahead is Morial, who fires it off the netting and out of play. 18:59 to go. 2-2 the score here in overtime.
Yeah, and this has been an interesting look right out of the gates here. Both teams are going for it, and we wouldn't have it any other way. There's no time for conservative hockey here in overtime, Dan. You got to find that puck in the back of the net.
That's exactly right, Lucas. This is a situation where there's no waiting back. There's no waiting for the right moment. You have to get after it right away. The longer this thing goes, the more tired you get, the harder it is to score in 5-on-5 hockey. And you see it a lot. Usually if a game makes it past that first overtime, it'll go pretty long. Down it goes to the corner, trying to race after it. The other big thing is if you're the Ohio State Buckeyes and you're watching from home right now, comfortable, warm at home, just waiting for this one to end. Is his own shot in front, save made by Zahner. But you're hoping this thing goes as long as it can. You want to see these guys skate forever here, Lucas. You've been off the ice for a couple hours. You already know you're in it. You're watching each side. You're getting a good scouting report of how they want to go after things. There's a shot taken, glove side. Flashing in front there was McGeever. Couldn't get the deflection. Another try, kick, save, and a beauty by Sage Zahner to keep the Musketeers alive late. What a stop by Zahner there with a pad.
Zahner is a one-man wrecking crew out there between the pipes, Dan. That's 3 or 4 big saves that have kept this team in the game. Xavier's going to have to be a little bit better on that clearance. They have to be able to vacate the zone and get their players off the ice.
Change that G with a V and call him Save Zahner because he is stopping it all. Quick face-off win. Miami of Ohio right back after it. Schmidt steers it in front. It took a deflection. It was stopped. Zahner looked behind him, but got enough on it. Oh, a huge deflection try by Torsten Lee. Another shot just nicked the edge of the pad of Zahner and steered aside. What a great flurry here from Miami of Ohio. Still trying to keep this one going. Out it comes the other way. Fired on through. Racing down after it. Xavier on the break. So it'll be jammed back up to be played there at center by Jack Dallas. Dallas will fire it behind that. Settled down there by Karasik. Karasik couldn't reach it. Right back out again. Flipped on out the center. Into the zone they go. Trying to jam that one along. Gets stopped up there at the blue line. Pushing it ahead for Cruiser. Cruiser almost got loose of that one. It's flipped up into the ceiling. Out of play. Whistle blows. Sage Zahner keeps his team alive again. 3 saves that should not have been made were made by Zahner to keep the team in it.
All right, yeah, Zahner has just, he's been the guy. You know, we've only played a few minutes of overtime here, but already you can see who the potential star of the game would be if Xavier is able to pull this one out.
One ahead now, racing down after it. Shot on net is paddled aside out of play. It's going to get Miami an attack zone face-off. They'll be happy about that one. Good play there by Joey Jenkins to take the quick shot.
Yeah, and it's really important now for Xavier to win all these defensive zone face-offs. They need to get these clearances. You're in a long change right now, so it's really hard to get your guys off the ice in a timely manner.
Down to the ice they go. Spinning it aside, that's Ben Bridges. Bridges tries to steer it back out of the zone. He'll find it right back on his stick. Loses control of that one. Dangerous place to turn it over. Trying to get to it, poked away. Jumping into the play at the right time there was Cole Shelgren as the puck squirts loose back to the top of the zone. Out they go. Racing away with this one. It's going to be number 16, Michael Ahrens. Ahrens, who was already one of the picks here for a game-winning goal in OT. We'll see what happens as it goes all the way back down. Playing it there, was played with a high stick by Miami, so the next touch was by Shelgren. That'll keep things alive and moving. Who will score next? Who will be the hero? Who will find a way past these two stupendous, impeccable, incredible goaltenders? En français, they'd say they're both c'est incroyable. In English, they'd say they're pretty good, pretty darn good.
Well, I think any way you say it, Dan, you really have to be happy with both of these goaltenders. You know, they really have put on not just a show, but done an incredible job.
Breakaway now, going the other way. Gets past his man, loses control of the puck in the corner. It was McGeever again. Gives on to Hunter Wallace. He's going to be hunting for a goal here. Puts it up in his stand and sticks it around. Trying to get the deflection on in front was McGeever. Wallace with a backhand try off the defenseman over the head of Zahner and over the net. Back wide side to the point for the one-timer. Shot deflects up out of play. And you can see the frustration from Miami's side. They feel like they've controlled the first 4.5 of this OT, and it just hasn't found the net yet.
Yeah, well, they absolutely have control. You're right, Dan, but, you know, you have to still get it past that goaltender. And Zahner has just been almost impenetrable here in this game. After giving up those 2 early goals, he's been lights out.
Face off here, trying to win it ahead. Tangled up in the skates, stolen aside. Backhand pass from Shelgren. Out it comes, handed on to Cruiser. Cruiser dangerous here, has a man flashing through. He's going to go wide side to him, was paddled away, took the shot instead. Morial was on the opposite end and couldn't tap home the rebound try. That one bounced up high into the air, no chance for it as Torsten Lee tries to shovel that one on. Back out comes Xavier. Going to hand this out to the blue line. Nifty move there. Throwing on the brakes one more time. He'll Plinko this one ahead. Backhanded off a body. Racing in wide side. Thought about centering it on in front. It's stolen away. The longer this game goes, the more this thing just goes up in the air as to anybody's ball game. This is just anybody can win it. One bounce, one turnover, one mistake can change it all. Torsten Lee on it now. He'll enter the zone, throws the brakes on Nifty move in front, takes the shot, score! Torsten Lee, the player of the year, the MVP, the star of the game. Torsten Lee torches them and wins it for the Redhawks. They're going to the championship.
And now Dan Kay is going to make his run down to ice level. What an absolutely heartbreaking loss for Xavier. They gave it their all. They played every single second of every single minute in this game, folks. And you have to take your hat off to Xavier because this team has just been phenomenal all season. They've been phenomenal in this tournament, and they were absolutely incredible, flat out incredible at all moments in this game. They have such a good offensive attack, such a skilled defense, and they're just tenacious. They work game in, game out, every single minute. They are on you, and they do not give up. That goal, just a product of Miami of Ohio's just relentless attack. I mean, they had the offensive zone control. You saw Xavier had it for a while there in the third period, even in the back half of the second, but Miami of Ohio was just able to turn the tables. Whatever speech, whatever play, whatever strategy was devised there in the intermission between the third period and the overtime period evidently worked because they were able to have complete control of the offensive zone from start to finish on that one. Miami of Ohio will be moving on to face the number 2 ranked Ohio State in the TSCHL championship game tomorrow. The best way to find out details about that game is to stay tuned to @the_Dan Show on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll be able to tweet links and let you know more info. But now we go down to Dan K at ice level.
Lucas, I'm down here with not just today's star of the game, but also announced during this broadcast, the league MVP, Torsten Lee. Yes, the league MVP here. What a day. How's it feel to get the MVP, star of the game, and headed to a title tomorrow?
I mean, I don't know. It's good to have the team win, and it was a little close, getting a little nervous at the end, but just tried to slow the play down and go. Just took it to the net, shot, happened to go in. So
now you guys got to be a little bit tired after this one. You're going to get the skates back under you. How do you bring the energy back for an early start tomorrow against a very tough Buckeye squad?
I would say it's really nice to be able to go to bed and have an earlier game. It's not really like club hockey, but we'll go back, get a good meal, get a good rest, get back at it, hopefully take the tee again. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun game tomorrow.
Now, final question for you. Daniel Karasek in net for you guys was sick today. You guys must have felt like you wanted to get him that last goal. He held you guys in it when the offense went away.
Yeah, it was big. We kind of let one up on him yesterday with letting in that one goal, but it was good to get him that win when he stood tall. So,
your league MVP, your star of the game, absolute goal scorer right here, Torsten Lee, torching him out here on the ice. Lucas, close it out.
All right, congratulations to Torsten Lee, TSCHL MVP, as well as our star of the game. Folks, we'd like to thank you all for joining us. Those of us who can hear us inside the rink, we'd like to thank you. Those folks who are at home watching on the YouTube stream, we'd like to thank you as well. And all of those folks watching through Twitter and Facebook, and everyone who's been commenting and following along all day, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Folks, stay tuned to @the_Dan Show on all social media channels to find out details on tomorrow's game, that game between Miami of Ohio and Ohio State. It should be a fun one. It should be a good one. My name is Lucas Jones. That was Dan K. Taking the pictures, as always, is producer Elena. Together we make up the Dan K Show, and we will see you all tomorrow.